just erased. But we have the last time on of the television show, and then the screen is black. And then there's the animation of like eyes slowly opening and a room coming into focus, into and out of focus. And we see the ceiling, and it's the like pockmarked like tile ceilings. And we see as we kind of like go up from the ceiling and like the camera spins around to see like whose eyes were opening, we see the same image we saw last episode when Hannah looked at her magic mirror and saw Tom laying on the table. You have a white sheet up to your chest, and you're laying on this like silver stainless steel table, and you wake up and your eyes blink open and there's no one in the room but you.
Oh.
The last thing
Uh,
you remember is that you were, like a car was coming toward you.
yeah. I would yell. I would yell at me. Not like a fear thing, but like a hello?
So are you trying to get the attention of anybody?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping somebody's outside the room or something's happening or somebody put me here and I want answers.
Okay. So you it takes a minute. I think that like this isn't a very like frequented, like the people in here don't really need immediate attention. But after like yelling for a moment, do you try and get off the table at all?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think I'll swing my legs to the side, hop right up and like check
Okay.
myself. Be like, what is happening? Where are my real clothes?
So yeah, you don't have clothes. Can you
Um,
This hasn't happened to you
I don't know. Can I like
before.
look around the room? Am I locked in?
You're not locked in. This hasn't happened to you before. Can you tell me, do you still have the injuries that you sustained being hit by a car, or are you like magically healed when you
I'm
wake up?
I'm thinking I got some broken bones. I don't know how many broken bones you want to give me, but I'm thinking I'm still pretty car wrecked.
I feel like,
Roll a
okay,
D.
so
How many limbs do we have? Roll a D4 for how many broken limbs you got.
I think it's more like you have like when you put your feet on the floor, you feel in the area where your hips are this like weird grinding feeling. And like if you take your hands to examine it, like you can feel your pelvis is like strangely like malleable. Like if you like mess with it, you can tell that you definitely have like a broken, crushed pelvis, but for some reason it's not hurting you.
Oh,
But yeah, you can and you can do the same thing like with your like lower ribs. Like if you touch them, like you can feel they're not really where they're
yeah.
supposed to be.
Sounds fun and horrible. Oh,
So do you continue like trying to find someone's attention?
yeah, absolutely. I would probably be in a light panic.
Okay, so God, Chad, right now. So you covered with this sheet, like are kind of yelling and maybe like going around the room, and from an office next to this morgue, which it's very clear that it is. The door opens like rather quickly, and this woman pokes her head into the room, and her eyes go wide behind her glasses. She has like probably like slightly graying brown hair. It looks like it's graying prematurely because she doesn't look very old. She's a little like chubby, but like in the like, oh, this woman would give you like tea and cookies, kind of like very like
Oh,
comforting looking woman.
okay.
And she like her eyes go wide behind her glasses. She's wearing a doctor's coat.
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Oh my God, I thought you were, huh, oh God, you sit down." And she like rushes over and tells you to like sit down on the table.
Okay. Okay. I guess I can. But like, are hips supposed to do this? And I'm gonna like twist my hips
Huh.
around like rear.
And she probably like pales when you do that. And she's like, "No, in fact, you're does that hurt?"
No. Did you? No.
Huh. Um, I have okay, can you just stop doing that, please?
Okay.
And just stay right there. I'm gonna call somebody, and we'll get you to the proper part of the hospital, and probably need quite a few x-rays. And oh my god, and she's like already turning to the other room and like picking up the phone.
Okay. I'd probably just lay down and go, okay, that sounds good.
So here's the thing. Are
Hmm.
you going to go through this like 12 doctors poke and prod you and try and figure out if how you're still alive situation? Like is
Oh.
or are you like, well, I'm fine. What's
I
your
like that.
because
Hmm.
you were declared dead.
Okay.
You were dead. You're still
Yeah.
very injured. Any
Mhm.
x-ray or examination would indicate, as
Yeah.
you can no doubt tell, that there's something really fucking wrong with you. So, like, I feel like this moment, either you're an idiot and you're just gonna go along with everything, which is totally like possible, or you recognize that like this is like something that maybe a doctor wouldn't have an answer for. Like,
Okay.
you recognize that you are like what she said, like you should be dead.
Yeah. I think
Um,
I'd call her back. I'd be like, it doesn't hurt. I can, I'll just get out of your hair. I'm sure you're busy with all the
you
bodies.
you were dead. Um,
Yeah, well,
I'm
clearly.
fairly certain that you. I don't think that it's healthy for
Hmm.
you to just we don't know about, and she's
Hmm.
at a loss for words, which is probably rare for, a mortician. Um, and I would say that if you want to convince her to let you go, you're gonna have to like make a roll of some sort.
I could do that. What should I roll though? Because I'm not gonna try and seduce her with my weird twisty spine.
It's like, wait, let me double check this one more time. Let me double check. Were hips supposed to do this? And you're like,
Ever seen someone this flexible?
I feel like you're trying to shut her down.
Okay.
Is probably like if you're not convincing her with hot, then you're convincing her with cold.
Oh, I'm terrible with cold. Okay, I'm ready. I'll give it a
Okay,
roll.
first roll, Tom. 8, a partial success. All right. So you come across poorly. So either she loses a string on you, which she doesn't have any.
Okay.
If they have no strings on you, you gain one on them. So you could gain a string on her, which you could use to convince her to do what you want.
Use it immediately. Yeah.
Or they take a condition, or you take one forward.
I'm pulling the strings. I'm
Okay.
saying, hey, you know what? If you, I don't want to mess anything up. I don't want to get it like I don't want to have to tell your superior that you thought that I was dead because I wasn't, and I could have actually been dead if you followed through with the whole thing that you were doing on the gurney. So I'm just gonna go.
Okay. So she, because you got the 7 and 9, you do get a condition, and the condition you're gonna get from her is like was definitely dead. Um and then you can pull the strings on her because she is a NPC. I think she's just gonna do what you want.
Okay.
Um yeah, I don't think that there's any reason for her not to. Because you got that string, then you spend it immediately. And she kind of like she looks super pale, and maybe she leans back against like whatever the nearest table is, and she's like, "You're right. If I would have conducted the autopsy, then God, who knows what could have happened. And I did declare you dead, and I could lose my job." Like, and you can see that she's kind of just like looking inward and not really like she's kind of freaking out a little bit, but she's not gonna like do anything anymore. Like she puts the phone down, maybe.
Okay. Well, I just say my goodbyes. I'm like, okay, thank you, and I'm just
Um,
gonna walk out. As long as the door isn't fucked up or
no, the
locked
door's
or
not
anything.
locked.
Okay.
They don't need to lock dead people in here. So yeah, I would say that your clothes, even if you could find them, are like tore up and covered in blood.
Mhm.
So do you like do you take a bus home wearing a sheet? Do you take clothes from someone else?
Oh, I would try to take clothes. I would absolutely like when I'm exiting this hospital. Is there
Mhm.
like a coat rack, or is there anything that I can see that has clothes? Because I'm thinking I might take somebody's jacket.
Yeah, I feel like you like while you're walking, like trying to find the exit, there's definitely like someone's left a purse and a jacket on one of the like waiting room
Mhm.
chairs, and they're at the front desk. So like you can just like grab that and skedoodle.
I'll probably take both. The
The
purse
purse
too.
too.
I
Okay.
don't know why,
If
but
you
I'm
want to take
sure
the
I would.
purse too, then I would like you to roll to keep your cool. I would have given you the jacket for free. The
Why are you
purse
such a
you'll have to pay
kleptomaniac?
for.
Like,
That's why I'm doing it. I'm like my character would just take anything he can because not because just he thinks he needs it. Okay, so this would be keeping my
Cold.
cold roll. Okay,
Yeah.
skabam.
Okay, so another partial success. Um, I get to tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable and you can choose to back down or go through with it. Okay. So, you're wearing a sheet, maybe you got a hospital gown at this point. And you go to grab this like I think it's a woman's trench coat. So it'll cover you. And there's like a purse underneath it. When you pick up the coat, you see that there's a purse underneath it. And inside the purse, like when you go to pick it up, you see like several medicine bottles,
Oh,
prescriptions.
yeah.
And the like how your actions would leave you vulnerable is like this is a like it's obvious whose purse this is,
Mhm.
and like if you like keep it around, like it'll be very very clear like that it's one not yours.
Oh,
And so like when you go to leave, it'll just be
mhm.
like that's not your bag. Also like whose
Okay.
bag is it, like when you go to
Okay.
like yeah. So like how to leave you vulnerable is that like the first security guard that sees you is going to be like that's not yours.
Okay. I I probably leave it behind on the fact that there's pills in it. They're probably for someone else. What if it's our medicine? I don't want to end up killing an old lady just because I stole a purse
Right.
or thought that I could take it. I was really hoping it'd be like a crit roll and there's a handgun in there, and I'm like, woo, goodbye.
Okay, so that's the that's the hard success is you find a handgun. You
I,
know what Tom's into.
I'm just
Um,
wishing for the best. But I leave the purse. I'll take the trench coat and I'll the lady's trench coat, and I guess sleuth my way out past whatever security there might be.
okay, yeah, there's just like a security guard wandering around, but like because a trench coat is pretty agender, you're fine. You get out just fine wearing no shoes and a trench coat. It's fine. And do you attempt to like do you take the bus? Do you walk? Do you attempt to hitchhike to get home? Do you go home? Do you go somewhere else?
I'd probably start like knowing what's going on. I think my character's home is pretty far outside
Yeah.
of the city limits, so I'm thinking I need to walk back to the school and then maybe get a bus from there, or try to talk to somebody into like giving me a ride because clearly I'm hurt and I'm gonna be hiding my injuries. I don't want anyone to know how probably maybe dead I am.
Okay. So when you leave the hospital, it's like Tom's your character, would you know the directional difference between what sunrise and sunset are like?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. So you remember when you're waiting for the bus and when you like saw a car coming at you that it was like more like sunset, but when you walk out of the hospital, it's like more like sunrise.
Oh
So you
no.
recognize that you've been out of it for hours, for quite some time. And as you start walking towards the school, you also recognize that the stream's on the wrong scene.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I had to fix it. I had
There
to
we go.
fix a thing for the Zoom, and it means that I had to cover
Yeah,
everything up so I could
it's
bring it
great.
up.
It's
Okay.
great.
Sorry.
And like you recognize that you would probably get to school like around the time the starting bell rolls around.
Okay.
And maybe like, do you have like extra clothes at school somewhere? Like, do you have them in your gym locker or something like that?
Ooh, all I might have is that mascot costume from when I was a mascot.
Okay. Do you would you rather wear a trench coat and no shoes or a hedgehog costume?
I think I'm gonna use the trench coat to get to school, and then probably put on the bottom half of the hedgehog, and then just keep the head with me so people think that I'm getting ready for something.
Okay, so we'll do like a little bit of like, let's just say this takes an amount of time because last episode you came into the scene at lunchtime. So we'll use some magic of cinema moment. And what happens is, Harley, like, you turn around and what you see is Tom, no
Oh
camera,
my god.
wearing a trench coat and the bottom
God.
half of a hedgehog costume, holding the head of the hedgehog. And he apologizes to you for being late.
Yeah, sorry.
I. It, you died.
No.
Okay, and I'm gonna like take Tom by the arm and like pull him because like we're at like the cheermate, so I'm just like pull him to the side a little bit and be like, I watched you die. Do you remember?
Ow. It's not so rough. I got the book.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll like let go of your arms. I saw you were dead. Like you were. Wait. Were you not?
Well, I don't remember anything from most of the day before. There was a car, and that was it. And
But like,
yeah,
how are you all right? Like, if you, I mean, maybe I was wrong. Maybe you just like passed out and somehow survived a car hitting you. You're amazing. But like, you look fine. Nothing looks. Nothing looks
you should
broken
see
or
under this
anything.
hedgehog outfit. It is a mess down there. I think a lot of the hedgehog outfit is like keeping a lot of the bones in place. But I don't feel anything, so it's pretty okay.
Are you sure you should be at school like this?
I mean, as long as I can keep the hedgehog outfit on, I think I'm pretty ace.
I mean, we have like spare in like the football team. We have like spare clothes if you need those.
Yeah, but isn't that stealing?
Well, I guess yeah, but you stole a television in front of me with me.
Yeah, well, that was an honest mistake, and I just don't want anything more on my record.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm just gonna keep with the coat and the hog, and if anyone asks, I'm just gonna say that we're getting ready for a thing. Is there anything happening today, like a cheerleading?
I mean yeah, we're gonna take photos for the and like I'm gonna like let the fact that he like died breeze past me because I just think he's amazing. I'm like, oh my god, he's so tough. He was in like a coma and he's already back at school. Like he's so tough and cool. This is amazing. And I am just like, okay. I mean, yeah. So you were meant to take photos for us for the cheerleading club, and I made like a list for you for all the other clubs that you have to get a photo for. And also you have to make sure that Emily credits you in the yearbook. And did she ask you to do anything else? Was there anything else that she asked you to do, or was it just the photos?
She did say I got to get her a corsage for the one thing where we're all doing a king
homecoming.
queen.
The thing you're going to be homecoming king. Okay, you should probably know
Yes.
the thing that you're going to. Right.
Well, she wants me to be the king, so I don't know what the corsage has anything to do with it.
Right. So it's just the photos then. Okay, that's fine.
Pause. Tom, do you intentionally not
Tom.
tell her about?
Yeah, what was it? I genuinely don't remember, and I was like, "What was it?" It was she was rigging it,
She
right?
asked you to falsify the votes.
Yes.
So that
Oh,
she
The
would
string
win.
with Hannah, yeah.
I got
I
two
was
into my
just like, I
character's
just
head.
wanted to know if you were
Would
intentionally.
you like to just like
doing that.
rewind a little bit there, or are you good?
No,
you could say
I can.
and.
I'm adding it on. I'll add it on because I genuinely forgot.
Okay.
I figured that
I'm
would.
an actual idiot. And it's also this thing where I got to take a whole bunch of papers and put them in the ballot box.
What?
Yeah, she wants me to write her name on it like a bunch of times and then just toss it right in the box.
So that she wins homecoming queen?
Probably. I don't know how it works really,
That's
but
no, that's okay. So basically, the way that it works is with homecoming, everybody votes for who the best homecoming queen or king would be, right? So say I
Mhm.
would go and I would write down like Tom for homecoming king, and then like me or whoever, whatever, for homecoming queen, and I would put it in the box, and it's like one vote for every person, so everyone in the school
Oh,
gets a say. So if she's asking you to write her name on a bunch of the papers, that means that she's trying to rig it so that she gets homecoming queen unfairly.
oh,
That
that's
doesn't
not that
sound right
good.
to me, does it? That doesn't sound good.
Ooh. Oh, I don't know if I could do that, but I said I would, and I
Oh, but
kind
here's
of
the
like
thing,
her a
Tom.
lot.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
here's the thing, right?
Oh,
She's so cool. She's gonna just win it anyway. She doesn't need like you to rig it.
probably.
And imagine if you
Uh,
both won, and then
hmm
once you've won, you can tell her, Emily, and like at the watch party, you can tell her, Emily, I didn't even put the votes in that you wanted me to. You got that all by yourself, and she would be
That's
so thrilled.
that would just I can't even believe how genius that is. I love that idea. She's
I
gonna be so
know,
happy.
right? Can you? All right, so come with me. You know,
Okay.
I don't want to get in trouble,
Just
so I'll with you. I'll go to your locker.
because you have expressed, Harley, that you wanted to roll more, I know that Tom
Yes.
is just letting you have this, but I'm going
Mm.
to ask you, you're trying to convince Tom to do what you want. Either you, if you had any strings on him, you
I
could
don't. Or do
do
I roll
it,
with
or
hot?
you can roll to turn him on, and
Okay.
that is a way
Mm.
to get him to
I'm
do
gonna
what you
do
want.
that.
Mhm.
I got 12. You can
I'm
kiss me
sorry.
whenever you want. It's fine. Don't
That
worry about
doesn't
it.
give you any experience, unfortunately, but you get a string on Tom now.
Yes. Okay.
And Tom, obviously you already chose that you were gonna do what you thought that Harley wanted, which was
Yeah.
also for Emily somehow.
Yeah.
It was
Of
all good.
course.
It's all
Of
very
course.
positive.
Let's go to
But
your locker. What's the problem?
yes, but you get that string. So like that's
Yay.
I remember you were saying that like you felt like you didn't get to roll as
Thank
much.
you.
I
I
just
love you and I
yeah.
appreciate you. You're the bestest.
Yes.
Oh.
Um. Okay. Well, like, where are the ballots? Like, where'd she like the paper? Where'd she give that to you?
Question, did she give that to me or was that in her
I thought she
locker?
gave it to you.
She did give it to you and you put it in your locker if I remember correctly.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah. I'll just go on. It's in my locker. I'm just getting them
Okay.
all ready.
I mean, mostly over to the locker. I tell like Amma and Cordelia to just do the cheerleading thing for me. Only it's fine. Just do it.
There they all are. I don't know. Should I like burn them or should I
So
like cross out her name or what? What are you thinking?
just as a quick aside, when you two are leaving the quad to go to Tom's locker, uh Bella and Hannah, where are you two for lunch? Are you both like in the cafeteria? Are you
Maybe
Um,
we're eating together or something?
I would probably be in the library. Bella is welcome to also be in the library with me because I'm going to be researching.
What are
Oh,
you
yes, I
researching,
will be
buddy? What's wrong?
researching as
What's the
well.
matter?
We
What's
can
I'm
up?
research
researching
our
what the hell
powers
is up with
because,
me and Bella because there's some
yeah,
things
Oh, it's Val.
happening.
Okay,
we're
okay,
gonna be good.
okay.
Like in Twilight,
Okay.
that one
The
scene where
montage.
Yeah, when she's
Bella,
on Bing and she's like a
yeah,
picture of a vampire.
that's what we're doing right now in the library.
Bing? Amazing. Okay, so you don't see that Tom's still here. You're not witness to that. But we can take a quick aside where it's like we see Tom and Harley go into the locker area, the main hallway of the school, and instead of following them, the camera like turns to the library, and we kind of have like a quick like zoom in where we see Bella and Hannah. Are you two like at like the library computers? Do you have like stacks of books? Like
um,
I think we're like at the computers and have books on the side. What do you
yeah, probably both. Like, probably we've searched or asked Mrs. Buckles, I believe her name was.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that Mrs. Buckles, queen.
um, asked Mrs. Buckles about any sort of like paranormal, supernatural books
mhm.
that like I maybe like even ask it as if like, oh, like they think they're right, but haha, we know, right? Like it's not real, but Do you have any?
Like, so she's handing you like Bram Stoker and like fictional books about the supernatural, like Frankenstein and all that. She also gives you like, I don't know, Dolores Book of Greek Myths or something. And I would say that the things that you can find in the high school library about actual supernatural and occult bullshit is probably not a lot, especially in the 90s because we just got through the Satanic Panic. They wouldn't have any like witch shit, if unless it was fictional, like teen. There's some YA books. There's some teen books about like, I don't know, T.A. Barron's Merlin series I read when I was a kid. You get Lord of the Rings. Like, I don't know. There's elves in that, right?
Oh my god, yeah, fairies, same elves, same thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
So we definitely using the computers.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the first, like, what are you looking up on the computers?
I mean, I'd probably look up Fae or werewolf. Like, I don't know where I start here.
I would just Google why does my body change? I'm 13.
How get pregnante? How can get pregnante?
So when you Google or like whatever Netscape,
I was gonna say, does Google exist yet? I think Google
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
year
Oh my
younger than me,
God.
so I don't know if it does.
it's the 90s. I don't know. You find like various movies about, there's like one called like Full Eclipse or something. Like, I don't know, American Werewolf in Paris hasn't come out yet, but there's like another movie like with wolves in it called Wolf, actually. Oh, look.
Would Teen Wolf
That
be
came
out?
out
I
in
think the
94.
movie Teen Wolf would be out, I think.
And like when
Go
you
to the
look up,
DVD store.
let's see.
Yeah, go to,
Some of these
go to
movies.
Blockbuster.
Feel like there's not a whole lot of fairy stuff. It's like Fairy Tale: A True Story came out in 97. So like that's not out yet. But like when you look up stuff about Fae, it's like there's not a whole lot there. There's Celtic mythology and like Celtic myths. There's lots of stuff about like the like a lot of Irish and Celtic fantasy. Like they live under these hills, they'll steal people and then like let them go when 100 years have passed, but it's only been like a month for you. Just there's the regular bullshit that you would have from our universe if you looked up something like that. But what I want to know, and this is like if you roll dark, you can get the very specifically like this universe sort of stuff. Like if you roll dark, if you succeed, then you can get things that will be actually relevant to you. But I don't think that like otherwise there's not a whole lot. It's just mostly fiction and mythology.
Can we both try roll dark? Because we're both such a...
Ooh.
We got this.
You could also, if one of you wanted to roll, or Hannah could just totally succeed.
Just like, smash it.
I think this is like my first success in the entire
for you.
series.
I'm so pleased, Queen.
Amazing.
Wait, should I roll as well?
I was gonna say like if one of you wanted to help and one of you wanted to roll, but like you got a smashing success, so that's fine. It doesn't. It's not gonna make that much of a difference. So, Hannah, what is it that you're specifically looking for about the Fae? Like, what kind of information?
Probably, I'm leaning more towards the idea of the Fae King, because like it felt very apparent that he didn't want to tell me more about that, or like I wasn't allowed to see what he was doing on the mirror, so it's very much like trying to figure out the intentions.
Okay, so the move is you get lucid visions, but because you're basically like we're using this as like a research move, you get the search results you're looking for. And what you see, like when you try and search this, you're looking specifically for like the Fae King and the Fae Court, and you see a bunch of specific like location, this town, Baines Falls, missing people who have popped up like 100 years later. that's relevant here and now. Like it's happened before. And when you pull up the most recent one that has like actual photographs, you see a picture of a girl who looks almost exactly like you. And it was in like the 1950s. And you read the article and there's information about like nobody knows who she is or where she came from. She said that she lived here, but the family name that she gave and the like town where she said she was like from 100 years before. And she ended up getting put in the like a mental hospital near here. And like she's still there. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's old now. She's like, you know, mid 60s. Or wait, we're in the 90s. It was the 50s. Yeah, so she's like 60 something, but she's still at the hospital.
Oh, okay.
What's her name? So her name was Samantha, and her last name was a last name. Let's say her last name was Thorpe.
No reason.
No
reason.
Okay.
And she's at it's not this town, it's the next largest town. So it would be like a little, like maybe like an hour drive. Actually has like a mental hospital, and she's there.
Road trip.
Road trip. Drunk driving.
Well, after receiving this information, I probably just like turn to Bella in a shot. I assume we're both reading the same computer, and we just like look at each other like,
And the picture, like Hannah, Bella, you're looking at the picture on this computer screen, and then you look back at Hannah, and then you look at the picture, and if you like it looks like the same person.
Ooh, we should go meet this person.
really?
I mean, you came with me and almost got killed by a wolf. I feel like it's the least I could do is we go over there.
Does it not?
Don't you want to know? Don't you?
No, I do want to know. I do.
You do
Her
wanna-
surname is Thorpe. Is that weird?
That
And
is
then-
weird.
And then Mr.
That
Thorpe.
is weird. That is weird.
Oliver
Is
wants
that a
me.
common last name? I don't know many
I don't
Thorpes.
know.
He's the only
Apparently
Thorpe
Thorpe I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. And this is a very small town. Well,
yeah.
maybe we'll bring more than just a shovel and a knife.
Wait, we're not gonna wait. You're not gonna kill.
No, I just to protect ourselves. Okay, I don't know how to turn on wolf mode.
She's
So
evil.
I don't know this bitch.
Okay.
I mean, person. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I know,
That
you get
that was
worked up.
unnecessary. I
It's
get worked
fine.
up. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I just think.
I'm sure she's a nice bitch or a nice person. You know, like I'm sure she's wonderful. But we should go meet her.
Okay, we should. Yes.
Yeah.
So are you also going to look up stuff about werewolves after this, or like does it distract you? Or
It distracts me. Okay.
I think I would be pretty distracted. Yeah.
Okay. So you have like the research that you have on werewolves is just like cool werewolf movies, and also like maybe it's Buffy the Werewolf Slayer. I don't know. It's a different time, really. It's an alternate universe where it's not about vampires. It's about werewolves. And is there anything else you wanted to like? Okay, is there anything else you wanted to do specifically in the library, or are you gonna leave immediately and borrow Bella's car and go to this other town, or are you gonna tell Chad or anybody?
Can't tell Chad.
No, I don't trust that boy. He's a sweetheart, but I do not trust him. I don't think I do anything. No.
Are you planning on leaving now or later? Like, okay, let's have the like if you're actually gonna go see her, let's have the like discussion. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to know if you were gonna
Nice.
look up stuff about werewolves. You can have the discussion. Let's continue the conversation as to whether or not you're gonna actually go. Because if you have concrete plans, I would love to hear them. Otherwise, we can do something else.
When should we go visit her?
When do you think the place is open?
Probably all the time. I don't
I don't
like
think you could just
visitation.
There's probably visitation. I don't think we just show up at like 11 p.m.
Can I go? Can I Alta
Yeah.
Vista the hospital?
Yeah, we should look up the hospital.
The hospital has visiting hours.
Okay.
They're for relatives only.
Mm.
And it's business hours, so it's like 9 to 5 or whatever.
Okay.
What if you just lie and
Can
say
I-
you're poor?
Well, can we? I was a 98 baby. There are printers, right? We have
Yes,
printers.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
cool.
If there's
Good.
internet,
I
there's
was
printers.
like, is it fax? Is it printers? I don't know. Anyway, we could print out a picture of Samantha, and then like I look like her, right? So it's like
Yep.
she's my grandma,
Yeah,
and then that's evidence that I'm
Ooh.
her granddaughter.
sure.
And just lie about your last name. Don't let them.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, well, you just want to leave school. There's nothing exciting going on, anyways.
Well, I don't want to. Well, there might be something important.
Ugh.
There's like 2 classes left of the
2
day.
classes? You think that's gonna make or break if you graduate high school?
Skip class, skip
No,
class. skip
I mean,
class, skip
but-
class, skip class.
If
I don't wanna
you
skip
if you wait
class.
for school to be over, you will not get there. You will get there as visiting hours end.
Aw.
We
I
can go
never
tomorrow,
wanted to-
I guess.
No, we can go. It's fine.
Okay, thank God.
This is the first time I'm ever skipping class. Ever.
About time.
Okay, so do you need to get anything before you go on your merry adventure, or
Do you want to take? I don't think we're gonna be able to take a knife into a hospital.
That's a good point.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Then what can we
Well,
bring as
you could
weapons?
become a wolf if like something went really bad.
That's true, but I don't know how to just turn it on. I can't just wolf mode right now.
Oh,
That would be cool. That would be cool. But I'm
it
still,
would be cool.
we're not gonna let you bring a knife into a mental hospital? People are on suicide watch sometimes. They're not gonna.
I was gonna say, I'm sure planes are fine. I don't know.
we'll just lie our way in and it'll be fine. Do you think they'll let me in too because I'm like with you?
Yeah, we can just pretend. Yeah, we can just
Okay,
make
okay.
something up.
Okay. Yeah, let's just do it.
Okay, so you two, with your printout and your backpacks, are going across campus to the parking lot to get in Bella's car. And just because I love it, as you're on your way, you pass in the hallway Harley and Tom. Tom, who Hannah, you saw dead on a table.
We're still on the way to his locker, right? We haven't gotten to the locker. Okay.
You're on the way to the locker.
Okay.
Like this was happening before. It was a bit of a like simultaneous like movie
Yeah.
magic moment.
Okay.
So the scenes were cutting back and forth or something. But yeah, you two had come from the quad and through like one part of the school. Let's say it's like a T, through one part of the school, and these two are coming from the library and through the school itself to get to the I could draw it, but I'm not going to get to the other side of the school where the parking lot is. So you're both meeting, like you come from one side of the T and they come from another side of the T, and you kind of just like right at the same time run into each other at the T intersection. And there's Tom and Harley, and Hannah and Bella, you're like pretty sure that Tom was the one. Like Hannah, you saw him, but Bella, you both saw the news.
Oh yeah.
And Holly told me as well.
I did.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Hi.
I think he went into like a coma. Like, I'm so stupid. I didn't even like I thought that he didn't have a pulse or anything. He must have had like a coma. Like, he's okay. Like, he's even like walking and everything.
Not wrong. I'm feeling fine. I woke up in the hospital and they probably just fixed me up and I'm good now.
Yeah,
You're weird,
isn't that
fun boy.
amazing?
You're really weird. That's
Tom,
really weird.
Could you do me a favor real quick? Can you roll with dark?
Okay.
Oh.
I like it.
You
Oh, I've got -1 in dark.
zombie out. You eat my brain in front of everyone. Oh.
Okay, so
Uh-oh.
mark experience. You have this like racking cough. And like you put your hand or your arm up to your mouth, and when you spit out or cough out like this disgusting blood something or other.
Oh my god,
I love that.
Lord.
And I pull a handkerchief out of my bra, and I'm like, "Is it here?" And I'm just like, hand it to Tom.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I don't want to get that on the rental.
Yeah.
You stop
Everyone
your
else
bra,
seems
but it's
totally
also
fine.
like you just have tissue.
Yeah, it's like
Holy
tissue,
shit.
and I take it out, and I give it to... Oh my god, okay. He's mostly fine. You're mostly fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, coughs. but I'm
Wait,
okay.
so when you woke up, you were where?
I was in a hospital.
In a bed?
No, it's like a big steel slab.
And I like look at Bella and I'm like, see, I fucking said that.
Yeah.
You
But
were
you're
in
just
a-
alive. You're fine. You're just all
Oh,
good. Spitting out
yeah.
nasty stuff.
I'm a little more flexible, but I'm pretty good.
Oh.
What do you mean by flexible?
I absolutely. Can I take the arm I just coughed with and kind of like spin it around in a way that's infeasible?
Yeah.
Okay. Just all
Ew.
this.
Ew, you're weird. You're
Oh
weird.
my god.
Does it hurt when you do that?
No, not at all. I just gained a double joint. It's okay.
See, he's...
That's not a double joint. That's
I'm double
that's
jointed.
just
Okay,
not
well-
having joints. That's just
I mean,
you just
okay,
don't have
he
them.
probably left the hospital a little bit earlier than he should have, maybe, and
Yeah.
maybe you should go back to the doctor and get checked. But like for
I'm
today,
lucky.
he's even at school and everything, and I didn't. I'm so relieved, Hannah. I'm so sorry for telling you that he was dead. I thought he was
No,
dead.
it's
Like,
it's I
Maybe
don't think
make
you
sure
were
people
lying.
are dead before
I-
you go tell everybody they're dead.
No, I don't think she was lying. I think she thought he was dead.
I'm not going to describe what I saw because I don't want to like upset him and remind him, but it seemed like a dead person. I don't know. I've never seen a dead person before. I don't know, but he seemed pretty dead.
What's the last thing you remember before waking up?
It was mostly the bus car. There was somebody in it. There was a car coming at me. And
Yeah,
I,
it was
yeah, it was getting
that
pretty
crazy
heated. There was
big
like an
Brittany.
argument going on.
Yeah, Brittany tried to hit me with her car, and I ran, and she swerved, and it went into you, and I thought that I had killed you, basically. And
I'm sorry. Well, you did. You did.
Did the doctor
I
say
didn't.
like? Did the doctor say like you died for like you know when people die for a bit and then they you dead
No.
maybe it was a
you-
coma.
so-
Did
so
you
you
hear
never
anybody
died.
talking? Like, do you remember? Like, what is it? Is it like the car
You
hit
woke
you,
up
and
on
then
a
you're awake in the
metal
bed?
bed.
Like,
They
is
were
it?
pretty inattentive, but after I opened the door to my metal bed, I just got out, found
Well, you had
the
a
Door?
They're
What do you mean the door?
inattentive in a morgue because you're dead.
What do you mean the
Got
door
out,
to your
I'm
bed?
fine.
Wait,
Like
okay.
the curtain
Wait,
around the
okay.
hospital bed?
Maybe we shouldn't talk about this in a hallway with other people. Maybe we should go into a classroom or something
Okay.
privately.
Well, okay. So we open the door, and I open the nearest door with full confidence. And there's like, I like to imagine there's two students in there, like on their free period trying to study, and I just like click and I
It's still
rush
lunch.
them out.
It's still
Whatever,
lunch.
they're in there
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
kissing or something. We rush them
Oh.
out. We
you just
take over the
stare at them and they're
classroom.
like, okay.
Yeah, they're like picking up their bags.
So Tom, you
Yes.
woke up on a metal bed
Yes.
in a morgue?
It was like a part of the hospital. It was like a whole hospital though. So I was probably
like,
really
what-
sick, but I'm fine now.
I don't think hospitals
Was
tend
there a
to think
blanket or
you're
anything?
dead unless you're dead.
No, there wasn't a blanket. I had a tag, and it did say that they thought I was dead. But I think it was a mix-up. They make those mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
No,
oh my
they
God.
don't. They
I mean,
don't.
How did they mix that up?
Accidentally think somebody's dead.
The police here are entirely incapable. I wouldn't be surprised if the hospital nurses are as well. Like, maybe he had no pulse for a little bit and they just declared him dead and then put
I
him in the
think
morgue
it's
or
like
whatever.
one person declares someone dead and then another person has to confirm. I don't think they just are like, yeah,
They're
Ship
dead.
him off.
Yeah, they didn't even open me up yet, so they couldn't have been able to tell.
I mean, what matters is that he's here and he's fine and he's gonna go to the doctor another day and get checked, right?
Probably. I mean,
Right.
I can walk it off.
Okay, so the most important thing is that, you know, that Brittany girl gets persecuted or whatever the word is.
Yeah.
Hold someone to justice, whatever that is.
Prosecuted.
Prosecuted, that's right. And just you make sure that you don't break anything anymore and
Yeah, I gotta be here.
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Can you break? Is that possible?
I don't think so. I've been really moving it around, but I'll stop just in case.
Yeah, maybe do that. Just treat yourself delicately, would you?
Okay.
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 So me and Tom were doing something. So if you guys are
Yeah.
done,
Well, it's been a while. What have you guys been
Let's
up to?
go. We're just hanging out, just having a
Yeah,
blast.
we
Yeah,
were just.
are you
What were
guys-
you guys doing?
Yeah, what
Oh.
are you guys up to?
There's
Tom
a
was going to show
ballot
me
thing.
a thing. I was going to show Tom how the voting works for homecoming king and queen because he
learn
doesn't
about
know how to
democracy.
vote for because votes are due by the end of today. Don't forget, guys, you have to write your votes down. So I was going to
Yeah.
show him how to like write on the ballot and put it in the box. I wasn't going to tell him what to write. Okay, but you better vote for
No.
yourself, Tom. Don't forget to do that.
Yes, I'll be writing them all in. And after
Oh.
that, we gotta take a photo.
Yeah, they got to get photo
You-
of the cheerleading team.
You were writing them all in.
No, like the
Normal.
like
Wait,
homecoming king
writing-
and homecoming queen, right? Like both
Yes.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
All of them.
All of them, Tom? What do you mean? What are you doing?
Tom doesn't mean anything, and I'd like to kind of try and roll and shut down.
Yeah, you can
Well,
roll, you can roll to
okay.
shut
So
them down.
basically,
Oh.
if I know from a promise that
Oh wait, but
I know that Emily, because I made Emily promise. I didn't make Tom promise.
That's
Oh.
true.
So I have sus on that anyway.
Can I still roll to shut you down? Is that cool?
Yes, you can roll to shut them down. Absolutely, that's totally what's kind of going on. Is you're trying to get them to stop poking and prodding.
Okay.
I will. You can do that first. If you wanted to also roll something, Hannah, to like figure out what's going on or like convince them to tell you, then you
Yes.
could. But it's definitely Harley first because she was
Yeah.
the first one
Sure.
to. Yeah.
I got an 8.
So go ahead and
I got
roll to
partial
shut.
succeed.
So
Can
on
I
a par-
fail once? Come on.
I just want to fail.
I just want to fail.
So on a partial success, either they lose a string on you. If they have no strings on you, you gain one on them. They take a condition, or you take one forward.
Oh wait, hang on. I actually
You had one forward.
yeah, I had one forward. I just realized. Is that just like one extra point?
It's
or
just plus one. Yeah.
Oh, well, I won't bother then. I guess that's fine. I didn't remember
It
to add
wouldn't
it
have
anyway.
gotten it to
yeah.
7 to 9 anyway.
Yeah, and I wouldn't.
Or to 10.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
even remember. Okay. So I get to. Sorry. Do I get to put a condition on them?
Yeah, you
Or-
can do that. And they will also give you a condition in return.
Can I choose to carry another one forward? So I
Yes,
have
you can
plus
choose to
2?
carry
Okay,
another
I'll
one
do that. I'll just carry another one forward for plus 2.
Okay.
You're gonna be mean at some point. I'm
I
gonna
would
be shut
never.
down.
Sweetie, honey, I would never.
Never.
What do you
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
So she you come across poorly. So she's trying, you can see that she's trying to convince you to just like drop it, leave it, don't talk about it. And like what were you trying to do, Hannah? Because you were
So I guess I would more be like, it's not coming from an accusatory place at all. It's just like, oh, well, I just thought that Emily seemed really weird about some ballot stuff, and I don't know if that's what.
So
I
what
don't know,
happened
like-
was is you remember feeling the like someone just lied to me when she was in the hallway. So you
Yeah, no,
weren't
as in I'm saying to
present.
them like in a more gossipy way, if anything,
Oh,
being
okay. So
like,
you're being like, oh, really? Because Emily was kind of weird and like a genuine.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. It's not me being like,
Yeah.
what are you two up to? It's me being like,
yeah.
Emily is the sus one in this.
I mean.
Sure. So
yeah.
did you want to like try and use a string to convince them to tell you what's going on, or
I could use one on Holly, yeah.
Okay.
okay?
what-
So do you
okay.
want to do that? Do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
Is it to tempt her to do what you want? To give her a condition to add to a different role against her?
Oh my god! Wait, if I do what she wants, I get experience, right?
Yes, you do.
Hannah, please don't you do what you want. Hannah, please. Play the
Yeah.
player. I have no experience.
Well, I don't want you to do anything.
You want me to?
I
You want me to
guess.
like?
I want you
tell
to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Have an experience point, sweet
Thank you
pea.
so much.
This
Okay,
isn't metagaming. I don't know what you mean.
So Hannah, what you're having this conversation with Harley and Tom, and they keep circling around the like, what was this ballot thing? Like, I remember Emily, and like, you're thinking in your mind like, I just wish someone would talk straight for just a second, and then you can feel in the center of your chest, the same place where you feel those strings coming out from you. One of them like glows a bit, and it's between you and Harley, and then you see it like break, and then Harley, you just get the like, I for some reason just want to tell her straight, and you choose to accept to do what she wants. So go ahead.
Okay. Okay, Tom, I'm really sorry. I know you like Emily, but remember what I said, like it's gonna be fine anyway. So just Emily wants to use Tom to forge a win for herself for homecoming queen. Is it?
I knew.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew that was what she was doing.
Is it empty ballots that she gave you, Tom, or have they already got her name written on them?
No, they're all empty. I just
They're
gotta fill them
empty.
all out.
Okay. So, like, I didn't know what to do with them. I was just going to gather them back up and then just, I don't know, put them back in the box or just burn them, whatever. He was just, that's what we were doing. He was taking me
Wait,
in
so
his locker.
who's running for homecoming queen? Me, you, and Emily?
Yeah, and that's it. I think. I'm pretty sure that's it, yeah. And then...
And Tom, how many
I don't know
ballots
who's
did
running
she
for
give
king,
you?
but I think.
No.
I'm not sure. We'd have to check my locker, but it was quite a few.
She had given him like a 3-ring
Jesus.
binder size amount of like probably the amount the school.
She's so
would have.
stupid. Wouldn't she realize that they're going to notice that every ballot, like, people count the ballots. Like, are they going to notice that every ballot has the same handwriting? I don't get it.
There's more ballots than students.
Did she tell you who to put for homecoming king? Because there's 2 spots on the ballot. So, did she just... You don't need to, like, cheat to get yourself a homecoming king. That's ridiculous.
Oh,
What? I don't know. I was gonna say something half as a joke, but it feels mean.
No, go for it. I love mean.
Please be mean for once.
What if we did like half of them for you and half of them for me?
That's
and then
what I
Emily
was
can't
thinking.
Win?
That's so funny. That's what I was thinking. And I'm like completely genuine when I say this as well. I'm like, that's what I was thinking. Wouldn't that be funny? Wait, but like, who do we put down for the homecoming king? Was it like half for who
Well,
we want?
Why don't we just
I'm
put
guessing-
Tom for all of them? Because it'd be funny. Because it's
But
him.
what about Chad?
Well, Hannah's running.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I was gonna say.
I
Well,
was gonna
Hannah's
say
running with
Chad.
Chad, so we can do okay. Half of them can be Hannah and Chad, then half of them will be me and Tom. But if like we can still win like separately or whatever. But like just we could do that. Yeah.
I'm happy to do that.
I mean, I don't like Harley, but I hate cheaters more, so I will happily write Harley's name down instead of
We
Emily.
can like
I don't
write
like
down
cheating.
names and do different handwriting for
Yeah, and we'll just mix up the handwriting. Just use different.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Should we? Okay, are you guys busy now?
And
or
I
do you want to meet
have
up
so
after
many
school,
pens
or-
in different colors. I have
Really?
so much
Oh.
stationery.
Oh, I love pens.
I
I,
have
only
so
have this
many.
one pen I stole from Walmart. It's really cute though. But
It is.
yeah.
Wait, Hannah, aren't we a little busy? We have some.
We.
stuff-
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what are you guys up
Do
to?
you guys want to do it now, or do you want to do it like after school? Like when do you want to?
After school, how about we come back and meet up for that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Because
Okay.
we have to go to just like hang out or whatever. So we got
Hannah, you have a shift at the arcade after school.
Could we do it at the arcade? And then would that be okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
Is
Let's
that-
But what if people
Never
see?
been.
No one will
If
see
you
you.
come
We'll go-
around the back, like no one cares about. It's.
And like, what's Brandon gonna do? He doesn't. give a shit.
Brandon? I don't.
Brandon's not going to do anything.
Brandon's
you know what?
probably
You're
not
right.
gonna
Okay.
be that. I don't feel like Brandon's. Isn't
Oh yeah, his sister is
yeah.
kind of. Woo, woo. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's just do it. Okay.
All right, so we have plans for after school.
So I guess me and Tom are gonna go back to his locker now. I guess.
Go get the
Okay.
balance.
Oh right, can I have Amber and Cordelia and Marissa come as well for more handwriting, or they don't even need to talk to any of you if you don't want them to. Like
They can.
it's just more handwriting. So it'd be...
I mean, the more people know about it, the more people might tell.
They're not gonna say anything.
Do you trust them? Like really?
Yes, they'd do anything.
Didn't
They're pretty pathetic. It'll be fine.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Hey.
And I guess me and Tom go back over to his locker, and you two go off to the mental asylum.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have anything else you're doing at the locker besides just getting the votes?
I'm gonna hand Tom a little note, and the note is gonna say, it's like gonna be like the prettiest little like flowery scriptive ever, and it's gonna be like to do, and like a little heart next to it, and it's like, make sure Emily credits you in yearbook. Look at universities, and then and it's like a list of every club that he has to get photos for as well. I'm gonna hand him that. I'm like, okay, so here's this because Emily didn't give you a notebook, and I don't know why she didn't do that. So you can keep the notebook. It's fine. It's really pretty. I thought you might like the color, so I just like picked it up when I was at Walmart. Anyway, yeah. And do you know what university you think you want to go to after school? Because that's
I didn't know that we had to do that. What's the university?
It's really important. Education's really important. So basically, there's Baines Falls University, which is like the best one, and I think you should definitely apply there. There'll be like classes in the last half of the year, but you have to figure out which one you want to do, and that's why it's really good to get credited in yearbook, and also it's really good to get Homecoming King as well because it looks really good on your university applications. So, yeah.
I didn't know this was kind of like vote to get into a uni. This is weird. I could do it though. I could probably win, and then it'll be good.
Yeah, you'll kill it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to let you know. But yeah, so make sure Emily credits you in the yearbook, and just make sure that you just are nice to everybody so they'll vote for you for Homecoming King and everything. Are you campaigning at all or anything?
I haven't. I mean, I was just kind of going to hope.
Right. Okay. You just think you just like pretty confident you can just get it? Like,
pretty nice to people, and I'm just hoping kind of maybe if I really was thinking about it, I could just ask people to vote for me outright when I take photos of them for the yearbook.
That you're so clever. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. Yeah. Do you? Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. And that's all the time I wanted to do at the locker. I'm all done. And then I think he's the smartest guy in the world. So I'm like, wow.
So, you both. We have two of our lovely students are heading to try and leave campus. Oh no. And Tom, you're going to, like, the bell rings for lunch to be over, and Tom's got a list and he's got classes. Harley, you go to your own locker, and when you get there, Emma and Cordelia and Marissa are there at your locker. And when they see you coming, I think probably, who would you say is your like number one at this point? Because Emma probably used to be, but then she
the one that like I trust the most is probably Cordelia.
Okay, so Cordelia is the one to like step forward, and she's like, just thought you'd want to know. There was some police asking questions about Brandon. Evidently, he's missing.
Oh, I mean, they're gonna know.
We were the last ones to see him after school. They asked all of us if we saw him after that.
I am so tired of this crazy family. Oh my god. Okay, well.
So they're probably going to take you out of your class. I just said that I was in shock and I didn't see where he went.
Literally, yeah, absolutely. They would completely understand that. Okay. Yeah, all right. Thank you for
track of losers like that anyway.
I know, right? That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, so okay.
I thought you'd like to know before some police took you out of your next class.
You're the best. Thank you. Okay. And also after school, everybody. Cordelia, I'm staying at your place tonight, right?
And she nods.
Okay, cool. So we're going to the arcade. Basically, the shrew, Emily, she decided that it'd be really cool to falsify the ballots and cheat to get Homecoming Queen, and basically told Tom to write on a bunch of empty ballots and write her name and then get her Homecoming Queen. She didn't even tell him to put his name on there or anything. She just said to get his. So we are taking all of the blank ballots and we're going to write his name and my name and Hannah and Chad's names, but whatever. And we're doing that at the arcade tonight.
And Cordelia nods, like, sure, whatever. But you see Emma, like, looking a little bit uncomfortable. Does she, like, I guess she's, like, maybe twisting her hair or her ponytail or something. And she's like, about Emily.
What?
I don't know if you knew, but she and Brad are kind of a thing now.
That's not going to be a problem for much longer anyway, right?
I just, if she was trying to do something like that, then maybe, you know.
You
I
have
don't know.
ideas, Emma. You're smart. What?
I was just thinking that it might hurt her. And she like when she says like hurt her, she stops like twisting her hair and she gets like this like sharpness in her eyes. And she's still like your clique. Like she's
Yeah.
still, even though she cheated with Brad, like she's still most loyal to you. So hearing, and she's also probably hurt because Brad ditched her. So like hearing about that, she's just like, she's so certain that her and Brad will win because they're both popular or whatever. And she got president already, but just like maybe if neither of them did, or if, and she like looks at you, it could hurt her,
That makes sense. I mean, Brad's not going to get homecoming king. We know that. So, yeah, she's fucked. Okay. Yeah, so on the ballots, we're going to write me and Tom for half of them, and then Hannah and Chad for the other half. No cheating, make sure it's even. And we'll meet at the arcade after school, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to scoot off to class, I guess.
All right. So with this, we're gonna have the like do you two Bella and Hannah, do you do or get anything before you start your road trip?
We should road trip to the mental asylum.
Oh yeah.
I did it.
I got my trail.
Let's get snacks.
I was just thinking that. Get some snacks. Honestly,
I don't think we're gonna bring any like weaponry.
That you're bringing and like a
Okay, so if it's just snacks, we get the like the shot of like you tossing the like cafeteria vending machines worth of, I don't know, M&Ms and chips and some sodas on in the back seat of Bella's car, and you both slam the door and take off out of the parking lot, and we'll go to commercial break at the scene of like you starting down the highway, windows rolled down and anime rock / metal intros on the radio. And let's, everybody, I hope you have your cozy mugs and your cozy tea, because this mental hospital is definitely going to be fine and great and totally cozy and fine.
Hey everybody, come cuddle up and have some cozy, wholesome chill times in the mental asylum. Phasmophobia, hoomst. We don't even.
Did I tell you that on Halloween I went to an old haunted mental asylum?
So cool.
Whoa!
So cool.
Yeah, I drove an hour to. It's the most haunted place in Washington, evidently. It's an old abandoned asylum that was closed in the 70s when Reagan said like fuck mental health, I guess.
Yes, do that.
And there's an actual cemetery on the grounds, and it was like pretty cool and haunted. I only saw one dead thing, and it was a rabbit. I think some people were doing some rituals, untold rituals. It was gross. Not advised. Don't kill rabbits, friends. Or do, but like eat them after. Don't like leave them around spoopy places. Like if you kill a rabbit, do it only to eat it, not to just waste it, because the ghosts don't like that. Anyway, sorry, I went on a.
No, it's cool. You're fine. Don't worry.
Clean up your rabbit rituals.
Clean up the rabbit.
Anyway, so we have the commercial break. Everyone gets their ads for, I don't know, Coca-Cola and some kind of fabric cleaner. And then we come back and we pull up into the parking lot of this hospital. And as we were just talking about, mental health in America was indeed defunded in the 70s. So this hospital does not look great. It's old. It's like you can see that like the lights are only on in like half of the building, and the other half looks like dark and unused. And are you like you pull up into the parking lot and like brake, turn off the car, and you're in the parking lot in front of the hospital.
Okay, so we're gonna go in there and say, how do we know each other? Do we
Uh,
mention it or do we just
how about we don't mention it unless they do, but we should have some sort of backup plan. What if
Yeah.
I'm like your cousin?
Yeah, you could be my cousin, I guess. Yeah.
Also, let's just go back to Tom for a second. That was weird, right? Like, cause you saw him in like
I
the
saw
movie.
him on like one of those metal bed table things, and he
Autopsy
was
table.
dead. He was dead, and I think he knows. How can he not know he had like the tag on him? That's not something a hospital messes up.
Ever. And after, because you said that that was gonna happen before all of this, so I know
Yeah.
that you
I'm
saw
not
that.
lying. I
I
swear.
don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like, what if we all something weird's going on? Like, you know, you got powers. I'm a wolf. He's a dead boy, and Harley's just super bitch. Like, we all have a power or something. I don't know. We should just go in.
Is he like a zombie or
Uh,
like
I
you
don't
saw
know.
what he did with his arm, right? Like he like fully windmilled that thing. Like it just didn't make sense.
It really didn't.
Um
All right, so we're just gonna go in and just act normal.
yeah, normal.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All
Okay.
right, let's do it.
And with my picture, we walk to the front desk.
I had to unmute myself before I can talk. So you enter the hospital, and yeah, there's a front desk. The door, like, it's not an open hospital, so there's doors into the rest of the building that are like closed. And yeah, there's just one woman, not dead, kidding too, thank you. There's just one woman at the counter, and she looks younger, maybe about like a little older than you two. She has blonde hair that's in like two braids, just like yours is right now, Hannah, because I think it's super cute. And she's chewing gum and kind of just like haphazardly typing at a computer, just one of the one finger typing and like popping her gum.
Hello, excuse me.
And she looks up at you. It's just like, hi.
Hi. I was just wanting to visit Samantha Thorpe.
You didn't make an appointment or call ahead or anything?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's
I
fine.
thought that
You don't have to. Just people
Oh,
normally do.
okay.
Sorry, are you on her approved visitors list?
Potentially. I'm her relative, so I should be.
Okay. And what's your name?
Well, it's Hannah Thorpe.
Okay. And she like pulls up something on the computer and like looks through it, and she says, she doesn't have anybody on her per visitors list, not even a Hannah Thorpe. Can I just like see some ID real quick and get you added?
I have.
Didn't you leave your ID at school?
I did. So
yeah.
we just came from school, but I do have like a picture of her. Maybe you can see the family resemblance. I don't know. And
Yeah,
I like
there's
hand her the picture. I'm like, she it's just been a while and wanted to visit her and stuff. I don't know if that
I the rules are you have to have an ID.
She's had no visitors.
Could we
I mean, she should have a
use-
visitor, yeah.
I don't want to lose my job. I'm just
Oh no,
like,
no. I'm sure you won't lose your job. Bella here is her cousin. My cousin. Do you have ID, Bella?
Yeah. But
It's not the same family name, but
yeah, of course.
but she is my cousin.
Yeah,
so
you could easily search it on. I'm Bella Hawthorne. She's my cousin.
yeah.
If you don't have the same family name and you're not on the approved visitors list, then it's like,
What if I gave you a bag of chips?
and you like look over and there's like a bag of chips like on the table, and she's like, I don't really see how that's. I just
2 bags.
So are you
I'm
trying
literally
to-
just
So you don't have any strings on this girl because you've never met her before in your life, so you can't pull strings. You. How else do we manipulate people around these parts? You can try.
Fuck her. Just fuck her.
I
Do
try
it.
turn her on.
Do it.
Please.
How about these bags and universe?
So you could try and like, okay.
We could both try to turn her on
So
at the same time.
you could use turn someone on. That could definitely be like, I get you to do something I want. You could also like, I would say that you can try and just like bully her into it. She's not that much older than you, so like shutting her down, that's a potential, but like it'd be really mean of you. Do you
I'll
have
just
any-
lean. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'll lean across the desk at like a little bit and like kind of get one of her braids. I hate this. No, you're like
One
you're-
second, Hannah. Here's the thing.
Oh,
if you
no.
give her a string on you, you can add 3 to your attempt to turn her on.
I can. I know. Yeah, that's the plan here.
Okay.
You're like so pretty, and I'm sure you're so understanding, and she's just my grandma, you know, and I haven't seen her in such a long time. And I'm like just like kind of just going over her hair and her braid, and I'm just like,
You make me sick.
and that's understandable. I make myself sick. And I just really want to visit her, you know, like it's been such a long time, and I'm sure you get that, right?
Make the
And
roll.
I roll, what am I rolling? Hot, right?
Yes. And you gave her a string on you?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so you get +3.
Let's get it on, baby. It's
Oh,
a
damn.
13.
Is that like nearly max? What is that? Is that
I think it would be 15 if it was max. I got 10.
Okay.
She got the +3 from her special move.
Yeah.
Which
Let's go.
ironically is called Unashamed, even though you're blushing like crazy. Writing down that string that I have on you now. Okay. So you get a 13, mega success. And like ordinarily, like you could see that there was a moment where she was gonna be like, don't touch me, you weird stranger. Like when you touch her hair, but then there's this like change in her expression and demeanor. And instead she like puts her hand over yours where it is on her braid. And she's just like, that's so nice of you. Like, she hasn't had anyone to visit her. And you're right. Like, you're just really good. Like a good person.
Thank you. That's so kind of you. Does she have like a name tag on?
Yeah, it says Olivia.
That's so nice of you, Olivia. Thank you so much for understanding.
Right. Sorry, I have to. And then she presses like a button and there's just like buzz. The doors open. She's room 301.
Thank you so much.
So I'll just like see you when you come back.
Yeah, of course.
And she like bites her lip.
I blush and I leave.
Okay. So, when you go past the door that she buzzed you through, it's like a double door, and the hallway is just white linoleum floor, white walls that are coated, like the paint on the walls is that like super shiny paint so that you can clean things up easier. Like it looks almost like plastic. And then the lights are all fluorescent, and it's the hallway at first like enters into like this like main area. There's a couple of people around at these, just it looks like kind of like your cafeteria, except for there's some like comfy chairs, so they have the padding instead of just being like a wooden chair, but you can tell that they're older and threadbare, and then like some are just on the verge of being broken but not quite. um there's the wall to the left has windows in it that look into like what you assume is some sort of courtyard, and then at the end of this room is a bank of elevators, which you would assume go up to what is the second and third floor. Yeah, there's just like people around but not a ton of people, it's not like crowded. And there's various rooms that if you were to go into them would exist, but until you go into them don't exist because, they're around. So you're just walking through here.
Was that mean of me? I shouldn't. Was that weird?
No, but you might have to fuck her before we leave because
I don't.
you did something to her.
Okay. Room 301. Room 301.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. So you go to the elevator and you two stand awkwardly in the elevator alone together, and the music is awful, and it's the slowest elevator that you've ever been on in your life. And then it opens up like kind of like judderingly on the third floor. The room 301 is obviously one of the first doors in the hallway, and this hallway is like slightly darker. You can like when you look up at the fluorescent lights on the ceiling, you have this like assumption of like, oh, they're probably taking working bulbs from this hallway and using them to replace the broken ones downstairs. Like it's like half lit up here.
Okay.
And the first door across from the elevator is room 301.
All right, you ready to go in there?
I don't think I'm ever gonna be ready to go in there, so we should just do it. And
Okay.
yeah.
All right, just do it.
Okay. And I knock and then enter.
Okay. When you enter the room, it looks like a hospital room, except for a little bit more lived in, the tiniest bit. There's a mirror, but it's that shiny metal and not glass. There's a dresser that like you can already tell from looking at it. It's like a wooden dresser, and you can already tell from looking at it that the drawers don't pull smoothly. Like you can just, it's that kind of like Goodwill dresser. There's what looks like probably there's no bathroom. It's probably a bathroom that's like shared in like a dorm kind of situation, so there's no separate bathroom here. There's a bed that has the like it is a hospital bed, but they've made it look slightly less hospital-y because none of the hospital machines are in here right now. Like she doesn't need them right now. And there's a chair which is by a window which has bars on it. And in the chair is sitting this woman. She probably doesn't even turn when the door opens. And her hair is now completely white. And probably just like pinned up in a bun on her head that is kind of like there's a little wisps like falling out. Like it's not really neat. She's not like super neat. She's wearing a knitted sweater and I don't know what looks like pajamas. And yeah, she doesn't turn around when you open the door or anything.
Go talk to her. Don't forget to ask her all the weird stuff. She probably won't even.
Yeah. Hi. Hi, I'm Hannah. You're Samantha, right?
And are you like, do you walk up to her, or are you saying this from
Yeah,
like,
I'm
across
kind of
the room?
like leaning into her vision a little bit.
She's continues staring out the window.
I saw your picture, and I heard about your story, and I believe you.
And she blinks slowly, and like her vision like slowly shifts over to look at you.
Your story. I read it earlier about how you um you kind of found yourself in this town, right? And you hadn't been there for 100. Was it that she hadn't?
It was
She
from what
was.
you read in the article, they said that she was saying that she had family here,
Yeah.
but no one with that surname lived in the town. And she was saying her house was someplace, but like that place had been torn down and made into condos like ages ago. Like it didn't. So like she was
So
saying that she lived in a place that wasn't there anymore, and that she
so
had family in
from
town that weren't there anymore.
so from would I assume it's like the 100-year thing? Like she was actually from the 1850s or whatever.
Yeah, like her clothing when she was found in the 1950s was like older.
Okay.
And that was noted as like a weird thing, like maybe
Mhm.
she was from some kind of like Renaissance fair or something.
Um.
But yeah.
Okay. And I know you probably lost your family and you couldn't find them and no one really believed you. And your house was gone and the whole world had changed around you. And how upsetting that must have been for you. But I know they put you here and I don't think that was fair. I think you were telling the truth.
And she like her eyes clear a little bit. Um and she like looks at you. I remember you.
You remember
You
me?
look like someone.
I look like you. And I kind of not like I'm leaning kind of on my like kind of sat crouched down a bit and kind of like put the picture in into her lap.
And Bella, what are you doing while Hannah's trying to talk to this woman?
I'm sort of standing by the door, just like watching, but like slowly walking over, but kind of letting Hannah
Are
do the
you like
talking.
looking around the room at all?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. You
There's old people
see
stuff everywhere. Yeah.
there's old people stuff everywhere, but you also see on the side table of the bed is like maybe half a dozen to a dozen medicine things, and then like a days of the week medicine uh organizer.
I think I'm gonna look at the pills, see what she's taken.
uh do you know anything about like medicine and what it's for, or you're just seeing a bunch of like this is a medicine term? Like do you know anything about medicine? Like would you be able to differentiate one thing from the next?
Yeah, I think I would know.
Okay.
My
She's
parents are
taking
on a lot of.
antipsychotics.
Oh, okay.
So like you can, and then probably also a what's it called? They take ones that just calm you down, like a
Xanax.
yeah, something that like anti, like there's a tranquilizer. Yeah, she's taking antipsychotics and tranquilizers,
Oh, jeez. Okay.
and probably has been for quite some time.
Oh.
So like you see this Bella like on the table, and like you walk over to like look at it, and then Hannah, you're kneeling next to this woman, and she's just kind of like dazed, looking at you. Uh,
Do you remember this picture being taken?
and she looks down at the paper and she goes, "That's you."
That's you, Samantha.
And then she like looks back towards where the mirror is, and she says, "No." Who are you again? I'm sorry, my memories.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm Hannah. Do you know Oliver Thorpe?
And she looks like she's thinking really hard. Oliver Thorpe. No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
That's okay.
Just ask her again. She just needs the question like 5 times.
So he's a teacher. Maybe he went by Ollie. I don't know. Mr. Thorpe. Samantha, do you know what the word fae means?
And like, you say that word and you see like the faintest glimmer of recognition in the back of her eyes. And she looks at you like, I feel like I have heard it before. But she's trying really hard.
You're doing great. Thank you so much for answering my questions. So, Oliver Thorpe is a fae. And do you think you could and I look at Bella, I'm just like, I don't know what to say. I think that's something with the mirror. I think that's something with the mirror thing. I don't know.
What if we put the mirror like in front of her face and then like ask her stuff at the same time? What if you guys both see it and you look at the mirror? Because you see that shit too. We can't leave
Okay,
yet. Like, just keep asking her. I think she's.
Is it like a removable mirror? Like the metal
one
thing?
on the wall, I will just. She was just looking because that's where she sees herself, and she doesn't look like the picture. I will just give that to you. She was not like.
I thought she was okay. I thought she had, okay.
It was not like a hint of I see things too. It was like you were like, this is you, and she was like, no, I don't look like that. That was all that was.
I don't know what to do.
What if you make her like promise something? Or I don't know.
Well, I don't think that will help her know what a face is.
What if we give her some pills?
Wait, no. What? No.
She's already on way too many.
We're not gonna give her pills. What?
I know. I don't know. Okay, what about
what if we promise
what if we take her?
No, okay. I don't think that's the plan.
You're right.
What if we promised her something?
What if you promise her like a lie?
And see I need to be able to break it like immediately. I promise
give her some cocaine. She'll be right
oh
away.
my god. No. How
about you just say like, I promise I won't drop something right now, and then just drop something, or I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Sure. We can't. Yeah, okay. Okay, Samantha, I promise to you that I won't drop anything right now, and then I'm gonna like drop the picture on the floor.
She just looks slowly down at it and then back at you.
I don't think that works.
You have moves that you can make here, like I don't know, gazing into an abyss to ask questions. You I don't think you should turn the old woman on.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, we could do a sex move on her.
The only
No, you're right. No,
Can
no
I? Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. I feel like that's a terrible idea. I guess we'll gaze into the abyss.
I feel like that's your best option to get answers. So that's just
Yeah.
me, unless you want to try
Sure,
and seduce this
we'll do that.
drugged old
Yeah.
woman.
Well, am I rolling with dark?
That'd be dark, yeah.
Yeah. Partial
Okay.
succeed.
So, you don't have the mirror with you, that you were given, but you just maybe out of frustration or like, what are you feeling when you kind of like go like ask these questions or like look for these answers? Like, what, like, is it frustration? Is it like sadness? Like, what are you feeling when you like try and gaze into the abyss, quote unquote?
It's not like frustration or anger because I feel like it's very understandable her current state, but it's more like begging for answers in a way because I know it will help me answer something that I don't understand about myself.
So maybe like a desperation,
Yeah.
like you want answers to your own questions. So you're
Yeah.
feeling this like, we came all this way and like I thought that
Sorry,
she could
one
help
sec.
me know about my I thought she could help me like know about my own life and like what's happening to me, and I'm desperate for some answers. And like maybe you just like close your eyes and grit your teeth a little bit, and then like on the inside of your eyelids you start to see the same sort of things that you saw in the mirror, except for instead of seeing like all the times you've been with Bella or all the times you've been with Tom before, like you see things that you weren't there for, that you never experienced. You see this woman who looked like you in like a cabin built out of like trees and logs that was like very simple and like has trees all around. You see what looks like similar to the bonfire parties that you have now, except for like it's all old timey folks and not as much of a rager. Like there's a fire and like there's someone at the very edge of the fire and you see her go towards that person. And then you see like just this blank space where you know time is passing. Like there's some way that you know that there's stuff that's happening, but it's just like television static. And then you see like the trees again, and she's wandering through them to like a road, and like she's wearing the same stuff that you saw her in her before the blank memories, like a old fashioned skirt and like an apron, and again like probably the same knitted sweater that she's currently wearing that's just like old and like lasts forever and has been mended so many times. And she gets to this road and you see like a car drive up, and she like screams and tries to run, and you see the whole like process of like flash bulbs as her picture is taken and she shies away. And then you see years, like in a second, years in this one room, the room that she's in now, just like this immense amount of time, like with small snippets where she goes to get food or like sometimes is sitting downstairs instead of here. But there's like this immensity of time just like sitting alone in this space. But what you probably focus on most is there is a time which like you're not sure when it was, but like maybe this like speed of like the 50 years time like slows down and someone walks into the room, and then kneels in front of her kind of in the same place that you are and brushes her hair out of her eyes. And it's Oliver. It's Mr. Thorpe. And like he looks at her and he says, I'm sorry about everything that happened, but we'll be together again soon. And then he like gets up and leaves her. And then like another like year or whatever of sped up time where nothing happens. And then now you're here.
So you know the person, Samantha, that I was asking you about, Oliver? He may have visited you in the last year. And I'm asking this thinking like I don't think she's gonna remember with the amount of drugs she's on.
And she like shakes her head and she's like, I don't get many visitors. I'm sorry.
So maybe
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember a bonfire when you were younger? Or like a kind of like a party thing with a bonfire and
I
it's okay if
remember my house and
yeah.
my family. And she's like gritting her teeth against like
Yeah.
this brain fog that has permeated the most of her life. I remember my sister was getting married.
Oh.
And she was getting married to the butcher's son.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved him. And like she looks a little like you can see like her face, even though it's older, like she's a 60-something-year-old woman, like the way she's talking and like the emotions that she's like processing make her seem very young. Like the intervening time hasn't even happened. And she's like, yeah, she's Philip. She was marrying Philip, and I hated her for it. And I remember there was the wedding. That's it.
That's okay. You did really well. You did great. I don't know what else we can do here, Bella.
Yeah. Me neither. Who's Philip?
Oh, sorry.
Who's Philip?
You know that I don't know if you have it with your power. You know, can you just like see stuff? Like sometimes if you try really hard, you can just kind of see it. Just like something explains itself. Like maybe when you had that dream that you told me about, right? And you just somehow knew.
Yeah, yeah. So what did you feel or see or what?
I saw Mr. Thor Oliver. I saw Oliver here and saying that he promised that they'd be together soon or something. And I like saw what happened with me happen like at the bonfire and going off a bit from everyone, and then suddenly I think she was somewhere else for a while, and maybe she was where I went, like another realm thing.
Oh boy. Man,
I
I
don't
really wish we could just take her with us, you know, because we won't, obviously. I don't think that would
I
work out, but
no, I know what I want to get her out of here because I think she deserves something so much better, but I don't know what we can do with a 60-year-old woman once we get her out, you know. I don't think she knows how to function in our current society anymore.
I mean, she could just go to school and be like a high schooler. You're right. That's dumb.
She's 60.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we should go. We also have to do the ballot thing at the arcade.
Oh my God, I have work. Yes, you're right. I don't want to leave her, but I feel like we have to, but
Should you leave the picture
hate
with
it.
her?
What if Oliver comes or something? Mr. Thorpe comes or something.
We should break into his house next.
I'm
I'm
does
just
he have a
brainstorming here.
house?
I don't know. Probably.
I think you would have to for like keeping up appearances. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get out of here. And we just beware. We are going to see Olivia before we leave, and she probably wants to have sex with you because
I don't think she does want to have sex with me.
You were all over
think
her,
she
putting
does.
her
I don't
braids
think
in your
many
mouth.
people do.
You were like
I think
squeezing your titties, like you were doing it all. Like
I was not doing that. I was.
yeah, I saw it.
Why were you looking?
It was just there. Like it's not like I looked. It was just there, and it was in my field of vision. So
okay. I don't think that's. I don't think she wants to have. I don't think anyone. I don't think. She
okay, let's
wants
just go down the elevator. That's
okay, fine.
4 years. So let's just go. Just
okay.
So you leave her room and she recommences staring out the window. You go down the elevator and just pass like whomever, random NPCs that are not relevant at all to the story because I don't care about them. And you open the door to the reception area again, and the Olivia, the blonde woman, is at the table, and she's like, "Oh, done already?"
Yeah, thank you so much for allowing us to go upstairs. That was really, really kind of you. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, that lady doesn't really get visitors. And then she like takes like a post-it note and like writes something really quick. And she's like, but like here, have this.
Oh,
If you ever want to like hang out or something. And if you look at the post-it note, it has a phone number and it says Olive on it. And she's like, Olivia is my grandma's name. So come
oh, Olive. That's a cute name.
So like yeah, just call me if you wanted to like I don't know to hang out or have coffee or something sometime.
Oh, okay.
take
Thank
the
you.
number. Let's go.
Yeah, no, okay, okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Olive. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna sew that one away and just mosey on out. Yeah.
That's such a cute name. Olive's such a cute name. You're just asking for it. You just
Olive and Oliver? Am I being too superstitious? Am I?
It's pretty weird, but I don't know. Maybe
I just feel like
Keep your
there's
number,
so
let's
much
go.
happening recently, and I don't know where the line is. You know, I'm just feeling very overwhelmed recently.
whatever. It's just you clearly liked her or whatever. So let's just whatever. You can call her when you want. It doesn't whatever.
Wait, what? No, that's
Nothing,
not
nothing.
what I-
Let's just
No, I'm not saying. Wait, what? No,
nothing.
no.
Nothing. Whatever. Sorry. Let's just go to
I was okay.
the arcade.
Okay. Okay.
Can I do a thing while I'm on my way to the arcade?
Oh, you have to talk to the cops.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Never
think I've
mind.
forgotten.
Yeah, no, that I didn't. Yeah. Never mind. I'll do that afterwards then.
Are our merry lesbians ready to get on the road?
Sapphic,
Will we
road
ever
trip,
smooch?
sapphic,
I
road
don't
trip,
know.
sapphic,
Who
road
knows?
trip, sapphic, road
Okay,
trip.
so if you guys are you all done with your interactions by the hospital? Are you gonna get back in the car and road trip it back home?
Yeah, to the arcade for
Okay.
work in the
So
balance.
slash cut to earlier. You guys are currently on the road. It's before all this happens, but Harley, you approach your next class, and there's one plainclothes like detective, but you can totally tell that he's a detective because he's got like his badge on a necklace or whatever. And your Mr. Bobo, Mr. Bo, whatever his name is, wearing his customary yellow sweater vest and tweed jacket, and he's like, Harley,
Hi.
this officer was wanting to talk to you before class.
Okay.
Just about what you saw yesterday. I know it was probably very shocking.
Right.
And the school has counselors if you need as well. But first, this officer, and then come into class whenever you need. If you can handle it, or if you want to go see a counselor, I'm okay. Gonna go dissect
Okay.
some things.
You're doing great, sir. I don't want to like finger guns him.
Okay. So the detective pulls you aside and is like, really, it's not. If you want to go somewhere private, but I just wanted to ask you if you remember seeing what happened with Brandon after everything yesterday. Anything at all that you remember would be helpful.
Wait, why?
Well, he's currently missing. He didn't go home yesterday. His parents are very worried, justifiably. So if you have any information at all in regards to like if you saw him go a certain direction or get in a different car.
No, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was so in shock because, obviously, I thought I saw somebody die in front of me. So literally that whole after. What's your name again? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm Detective last name.
Sorry. Hi, Detective last name. Hi, I'm Holly. Yeah, you know that. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, no, I was like so in shock. It was really scary. And it's like a blur, but I just stayed with I feel so bad. I just went right to my friends, and I had to spend the night at my friend's house, and I literally don't remember. I mean, the most I can help with is I know he was really depressed because his brother died, and then the person who I thought died in front of me got hit by a car driven by Brandon's sister. So I think that whole family is kind of, and I wonder if the stress of all of that broke him.
Right.
Yeah.
We've heard that from some other people and his family as well. But if you just was there, I know you were obviously very disturbed, totally understandable with everything that went on. But if there was anything at all that you noticed, if he said anything about where he was going, did he follow the ambulance at all, or did he get in a car, in a bus? Did he walk? Do you remember what direction? Anything you remember at all?
I think we left before he did. I think we just like left him there.
Okay. And like he just jots down like a quick note, probably just what you just said.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you do remember anything, please and he hands you his card. Just
How
give
long
me a
has he been
call.
missing for? Is it?
It's just the
Since
last
the
24
afternoon.
hours.
Okay.
But I mean, since the event, not 24 hours, but
Right.
considering everything that's happened with his family recently, we are investigating it before the well, you don't need to know what policy is when it comes to runaways, but
I wouldn't get it anyway, honestly. It sounds really complicated.
it seemed strange. So we're looking into it, and hopefully he's safe somewhere. Don't worry too much about it.
Okay.
Just if you remember anything, or if you hear anything from any of your other classmates, please let us know. Do you know if he had any other friends?
I know that he worked at the arcade with Hannah Louison. I don't know if they're friends, but they worked together, and she's nice, so they're probably on good terms, I guess. So you could ask her how he was feeling mood wise and stuff, and if he said anything about running away from home, or any like suicidal like ideation or anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. We'll look into all of that. You said the arcade in town where he worked?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. You've been very helpful, Harley.
Thank you, Detective Last Name. I hope, good luck with everything and that.
I can't think of.
No, it's fine. No, last name. It's Detective Lassie. It's fine. We love him.
Okay. So, I assume the rest of. You said you wanted to do something else, Harley?
I just wanted to. If I could just. Is it possible for me to like gaze into the abyss a little bit and just see how my inner how am I feeling? You know what my head's like, Blue Jay. How am I feeling? Am I feeling normal today?
What is when you gaze into the abyss? So obviously with Hannah, she's linking in with like her Fae promises thing, and with Bella, there was a wolf. I can be a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
What is it when you gaze into the abyss? Like, what are you looking like is it looking into yourself? Are you like making contact with some outside creature? Like, what does it feel like for you? Like, is it an external thing or is it an internal thing?
It's like the facade, like that cherry facade, like falls, and I let myself just like sit within my true self for a minute.
And so it's like internal.
Yeah, and I want to tap into the status of that true self and how it's feeling.
So you can roll for me, but you have to name what you're looking for, and then I can give you any answers.
I am looking for if I feel whole and satisfied, or if I still have like a craving.
Okay.
Cool. I got a partial success.
So partial success. So the abyss shows you confusing and alarming visions, but you get your answer nonetheless. So I feel like the way that this works is like, just give me a little poetic license. You pull out a compact from your purse, and it's just like a powder, whatever. And you look in it and you stare into your own eyes in the mirror in this compact. And then because you succeeded at all, you do get some visions. So your face in the mirror, like there's a moment where like suddenly the expression is different than the one you're wearing standing in the hallway, and the face looks at you, and you can hear this like whispering in your ear, and it's very similar to the darkest self feeling where you were kind of like telling yourself like, why haven't I felt loved all my life? Like, all of these people around me, like, they are worthless, they betrayed me. But the face in the mirror is basically telling you like, no, like none of this is enough, like I need more than this. It's like it's maybe all it comes down to is the face like licks its lips and then grins at you, and then you shut the compact and you like, no.
Neat. Cool. Just checking. Feeling fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm dunsies then. I'd like to head to the arcade with all my gal pals.
So, gal pals at the arcade. Tom, was there anything you wanted to do at school before you made it to the arcade, or?
I don't think there's anything really crazy big. I think I'd be just grabbing my camera and getting prepped and heading right the heck over.
Okay. All right. So you all get to the arcade around the same time. You probably roll up Hannah and Bella a little bit after. Tom and Harley and Emma and Cordelia and Marissa are all at the arcade. Obviously, Brandon is not there. They're God, like I wonder, is there like another person who works here, or is it just like they just
There's like a
let
manager who's
the
constantly
kids
in the back and is like, I'm so busy. Oh my god,
so busy.
I'm so off my feet.
They've let the kids run wild.
Yeah.
So we'll just hand wave. Someone's running the place that's not Brandon. But yeah, you get there and like y'all have already claimed a table from which to write all of the ballots.
Ballots, yeah.
So yeah, you two roll up into the arcade, and there's already all of your best friends here. You're totally best friends that you love. And care
Yeah,
about.
super cool. Can I pull Emma aside really quick?
Mm-hmm.
Or like the whole gang even, but like I always talk to Emma.
Sure.
Okay. Emma, hey, and I'm like, I like take us to a corner where no one can fucking hear us, and I'm like, hey,
Okay.
Emma, I was wondering, do you think that you could call Brad and have him meet you at the spot? Do you think?
And she like nods at you and she says, "Sure."
Cool, awesome, thanks.
And then like you see her go up to whatever like dropout, not college student anymore is currently at the arcade counter, and she like twirls her hair and like taps her foot on the ground and is like, "Can I borrow your phone?" And then yeah, so that happens. Hannah, Bella, Tom, you're in the same place again. You have the many pens and the ballot box.
I would have probably, once we got here, rushed off to change and then come back.
Wearing your red shirt with a pizza stain on it.
Hell yeah. And working it, might I add.
Mm-hmm.
So, are we ready to write a lot of names and commit voter fraud?
I got the pen ready. I
always knew homecoming was a scam.
Homecoming's really
Everybody
important.
cheats every year. I know, but we're cheating. It's like I don't care about homecoming at all. So this is stupid.
Well,
but
yeah. I mean,
just know that it's not real and none of it matters.
The only, I mean, it does matter for like university applications, but whatever. I guess you aren't going to one anyway. But it's not cheating. It's just making sure that someone who doesn't deserve it doesn't get it. You know?
Yeah. It's like quick.
I mean, you don't deserve it either, but
Okay.
we're writing your name down. So.
Well, I'm a valedictorian, so I don't even need it. If I don't get it, I don't care. But it's important for Hannah and Chad and Tom. So
is anyone not like you guys, you said that you were going to split the ballots 50-50. Is anyone not doing that?
No, I'm doing that. I'm splitting it 50-50.
I'm doing it.
I'm just writing Hannah and Chad.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Not even Tom? Not even Tom.
No, never mind. I'm writing Hannah and Tom.
Okay.
Okay.
And Tom, are you just doing half and half?
I'm doing half and half, sure. I'm
Are
gonna get
you-
to the point.
Okay, here's the thing, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Emily really wanted you to write her
Yeah.
name.
Oh, come on.
That's true, but also how much
here's
does
here's my thing.
But you're my
Okay.
guy.
If you decide to go against Emily's wishes, I feel like she can't be your true love.
maybe that our impact kind of changed things for us.
I feel like
Maybe that means
a lot of things has happened since you fell in love with Emily.
Mhm.
The first moment you ever laid eyes on her.
Yeah.
Back of her head.
The back of her skull.
Beautiful cranium.
And
Right.
obviously this is a decision that you get to make as the mortal.
Yes.
But that's the feeling I would like to question, is Emily still your true love?
I don't think so. Not anymore. I didn't know that she was a cheater and was trying to. I thought it was just some weird fun thing kids do, but I didn't think it was immoral.
All right. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you ever fall in love with someone else instead, give them a string and they become your new lover.
Is there anything else that I should tell my new lover?
Probably you want to marry her or
You don't
something.
even
Just
have to,
immediately.
you don't have to say anything to them.
Okay.
It can be an unrequited love as it was
Okay.
before. They just get a
Ah.
string on you. But you always carry one forward, so you always get a +1 when it involves earning your lover's heart.
Do I lose the one I had on Emily?
You lose the one you had on Emily,
Oh,
and
okay,
you
it's
get
gone.
the string on
Okay.
your new love. Well, your new lover gets a string on you.
It's only one person in this group that I've kissed passionately with in a dark room. And
So-
I didn't even know it was, that I was that good at
I'm
it. but apparently
shocked.
it was
I can't
perfect.
even.
I know.
Who
How
could
did
have seen this coming?
transpire?
So let
It's
me
so
just get the clarification. Tom, your new lover is Harley, correct?
weird. Yeah.
W's in the chat, everybody. We did it.
Oh.
We can end the series. I got what I wanted.
That's the whole thing. Campaign over.
All right, so Harley, you
Shocked.
go ahead
Just
and
shocked.
you get a string on Tom.
Who could have seen this?
So wait, so
from the
now,
start?
so now wait. Whenever Tom's trying to do something that benefits me, he'll get a +1 to his
Whenever
roll?
he does something to try and earn your favor, and there's a roll involved, he can add 1 to that roll
Okay, cool.
because he loves you, even though you don't deserve it at all.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Blue Jay. We're role playing again. This is
Yeah.
they
right,
can
right,
hear
right,
you. This
right.
isn't the
No need to
personal
talk
thing.
real.
Yeah, it's getting a bit real. Come on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. Is it hot in here? Or is it just...
Okay, I just
cool.
wanted
That's
to make
that.
sure. When we were doing this thing, it seemed like the moment that you don't turn back from. So, Tom, are you also writing Harley and Hannah and Chad's names on the sheet?
Yes.
Okay. So the only one who's manipulating the votes is Bella in Hannah's favor. Let's go.
Fucking hell.
I'm very excited.
Is there I'll give you the floor if any of you wanted to have any discussions while you're doing this voter fraud. Otherwise it's just, awkward silence while you ask for a pen. I don't.
I'm just gonna be like, okay, so it's like tomorrow at the end of first period that these are due, right? When are these due?
They were
I
due
don't-
today.
They were due.
I think
today.
that, yeah.
I think, okay, the school's still open until like 8 or something like that because football practice and all that. So we could go
Drop
to
them off.
Yeah, we could just drop them off, I guess, and then
Yeah.
because Yake is not far from school. So we just, when we're done here, do you guys want to sneak to the school and?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, that'll be fun.
Oh, actually, I might have to work.
Oh, okay.
I think I do have a job that I am paid
right.
to do.
Okay.
So maybe
Take a sick
I.
day.
Okay,
Well, I'm
yeah.
here already, Tom. It's.
Yeah. Well, how about Bella
Yeah.
and Tom and me? We can
Yeah.
all go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Right.
hold
Or
your
if it's
ballots, you go.
quiet, I guess I can come, but I don't.
I really don't want you to.
If
have
we
your job be in
have the
jeopardy.
school order a pizza,
I mean, how?
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! No!
Oh,
the
that's
football
genius.
people order a pizza. The football. The
Cold
yeah.
Chad. Cold Chad.
I'll make
Cold
Chad
Chad.
order. I'll make Chad order pizza.
Okay, great.
awesome. Okay, so is anything else planned? Or are you just gonna have the school order a pizza so you can deliver the pizza and the ballots at the same time?
That's the plan.
That's
That's
the
the
plan.
yeah.
Okay, so this is I don't know, they've got a couple hundred students at the school or whatever, so it takes a hot minute. And partway through the ballot fraud, in walks the detective last name. And he goes to the counter and the dropout college student manager points over at you, Hannah.
Can I, as I see this, because I recognize the detective, can I immediately grab the ballots and just push them all into a pile and try and
Yeah.
I shove them between my
that.
thighs under my skirt.
Sure.
I'll never let that.
You frantically hide the voter
Yeah.
fraud you're coming. That's
Yeah.
just
As if I'm gonna go to
cool.
jail for homecoming voter fraud.
No one would care.
I know, but I'm really scared.
So yeah, and detective last name comes up to the table and says, Hannah, right?
Oh, yes. Hello.
I could just talk to you for a moment. You're not in trouble. It's not anything. I just wanted to talk to you about Brandon.
Yeah, sorry, Hannah.
Oh.
I meant to tell you. I'm so sorry. I blanked. Detective last name talked to me earlier about just stuff. He'll tell you about it. You're not in trouble. It's just Brandon's because we
And
can't.
he looks over at Tom.
It's just because we can't. Brandon's missing. And you worked with him, so I said that you worked with him, so maybe you had an insight into what he was thinking, and if you knew anyone or was in any mood. Sorry, I didn't tell you. But yeah.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
And he like there's a moment, and then he's like, "No, okay," and then he like pulls you over. He's like, do you have any idea if Brandon was ever talking about like going anywhere or
Um,
running away?
wait, has he run away? Like,
We don't really know where he is at the moment. We're looking into it.
oh,
So if you just had if he had ever spoken to you about wanting to run away, or any places that you knew that he frequented that we might be able to check out. We've already
um,
spoken to his parents, and
um, we weren't necessarily the closest. He didn't really share stuff with me like that. I don't, like, we worked together, but that was kind of it.
Okay. Um, do you know of anyone else that he might have been close to or spoken with recently, about any of like his plans or?
Um, I think wait, okay, out of character. I saw in Emily's notebook that she'd written Brandon
No, it wasn't.
down,
It
right?
wasn't Emily's handwriting though, was it? It was like
No.
it was someone
No.
else's, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
I'm
I
pretty
would
sure it was like
still,
yeah, but you saw like the weird handwriting, but like it was like
yeah,
Emily's
but like if
notebook.
I don't know anything about it,
Yeah,
If
I
you're
guess.
trying to think of people you've seen talk to Brandon, Bella
yeah.
and him had a conversation before he totally shut you down when you asked about his brother.
Oh, that's
Maybe
true.
Dead Brother, that one. Yeah.
Dead brother that's dead.
Well, my friend Bella spoke to him like a while ago, and I think Emily, I don't know her son, Emily something or other. She, I think they talked to. It was I don't know. I think maybe they talked, but I'm not sure. But I think
And he's like
that's
writing down
it.
names. Blah blah blah. Right, you said your friend Bella right over there.
Yeah, Bella, hey, come over here.
What's up?
Hi,
Um,
sorry. So we're looking for or looking into Brandon Cooper. I don't know what his last name is. Um, he's been missing. Did he? Hannah here said that you'd spoken to him recently. Did he mention anything about um wanting to go anywhere or like any of his plans, or do you have any idea of places that he frequented at all?
I mean, he was extremely depressed, as far as I could see, but I don't think
Like
he was
no.
just gonna disappear. You know, he didn't seem like a guy that would just do that. You know, he's just depressed working at the shop, the pizza arcade thing, trying to get through it. I think him being gone is not normal. I don't think he would have just done that.
So he didn't mention
But I
anything to
don't
you about wanting to run away or anything?
know.
Okay. You said that he was depressed. That seems to be like, I mean, obviously situationally. Do you remember, Hannah, if before his brother's death, if he um exhibited any symptoms of depression before then?
no, I don't think like
He was an
no.
emo kid, but he wasn't like.
Yeah, like yeah. Like I don't know, he kept to himself, I guess. Like he liked to listen to music and just kind of chill, but I don't think that was he wasn't
Okay.
like miserable, I don't think.
All right. Well, and he like pulls out two more cards, like business cards, and he hands them to both of you. If you think of anything or if you see him anywhere, can you please just give me a call? His
Oh, of
parents are very
course.
concerned.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, if you think of anything at all, anything, even the smallest thing that could be helpful, um, thank you. I appreciate it. And then he goes back up to the counter, like talk to the manager.
Okay.
I guess I'll ask Hannah how it was and Bella like how it was when they get back to the table.
It just asked me if I'd seen anyone talking to him or anything.
Right. I do wonder if he just like I don't know. It's weird. It's like he just disappeared. Okay, anyway, we're nearly done with the ballots by the way, so we can just go to the school whenever. And Amber, do you want to like, the thing? Do you want to do that there? Cause
And she
What
like
thing?
nods at you, and then I think that like I don't know how many pizzas a football team needs. But they're like stacked on the counter and ready to go. And y'all like, I don't remember if you would have picked up your bicycle at any time, but like Bella's got a car. So do you all like pile into Bella's car, or do you like walk?
I was gonna say I hear Bella when she's like, oh, like what thing, and I was like can I whisper in your ear, Bella, is that cool?
Yeah, please
Okay,
do.
I'm gonna whisper in your ear, and I'm like, okay, I feel like you're gonna love this, because of Emily's like cheating thing, we're gonna like, we're just thinking of like trying to just like mess this shit up, like her locker, we're gonna like mess this stuff up if it's like we're gonna
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, do you want to come? Okay, cool.
How are we gonna mess it up?
Oh my god, I didn't even think of that. Okay, wait, you're good at this kind of thing. This is my first time doing this kind
I
of thing.
have access to rats and gasoline. What direction are
God.
you? Or is that too far?
Are they live rats?
Yeah.
Okay, there's like vents and lockers because I don't want the rats like
Either
dying
or.
in there. That's gross. Okay, yeah, let's put rats, just rats, not gasoline. That's actually dangerous. I don't want to like.
Okay, yeah, I thought,
That
we could-
combination.
Yeah. We're gonna stuff the rats through the vent.
Pour gasoline in there.
And yeah, I imagine like my mom like is, because they're all, nice little, she takes care of like rats, so I just like steal them from I would have
We
to
have
steal
such like a long to do list. Like go to school, break
Your
into the ballot
mom
box, ruin Emily's locker.
Your mom is so nice that like you have traps to keep rats out of your house, but whenever they get injured from the traps, your mom like nurses them back to life
Oh.
before releasing them in the woods. So you just have some like rats at your house. Like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess we scoot over to the school.
Okay. So do you I guess you roll up at the end of football practice. And all of the football kids are like probably just like in the gym, like outside of the locker room. Some of them are in the locker room, but like Chad is outside because he knows there's pizza coming. And he's still wearing his football pants, which I don't know. Okay. When I was in high school, I was a defensive statistician for the football team, so I got to stand on the football field with all the high school footballers, and those pants are very tight,
Ah.
and they do make their butts look really nice. So I would just like to exemplify that Chad's butt looks nice.
Amazing.
Okay.
Jeez.
That it's and he's got his like shaggy blonde hair. And he looks like a golden retriever, and he's probably taken off his shoulder pads, but he's put back on his jersey on top of it because he's like, you don't show up half naked for pizza; it could burn your skin.
Yeah.
And so like he sees you all roll up, and he's like rubbing his hands together. And he's like, yeah, like, oh, Hannah, when you called and you were like, do you want pizza after practice? I was like, that sounds like the best idea ever, and like thank you for that, because I would never have thought to have pizza delivered to the school, but it's just like the coolest.
I know, right?
And he like grabs the first box, and it's just like, pizza.
Can I like suggest that like Tom and Hannah split up to do the ballot thing, and then me and Bella go to do the locker ruining?
Do whatever you like.
Okay.
Do we stop
I
and
suggest
get
that
the
to the
rats?
crew.
Do we get? Did we get the rats?
Yeah, we picked up the rats on the way.
Okay, we picked up the rats on the way. That's what I
Yeah,
figured.
you picked up the rats on the way.
Okay, so
Are you carrying them now?
Yeah, I have like a cardboard box that's kind of loose, but
Okay, like a shoebox.
there's like 7 of them in there.
She's like holding it shut at all times because they're just like.
And I'm like, don't worry.
There's
My
a weird
mom like
squeaking box.
she takes care of all the rats. So even when rats are around schools or stores, my mom comes to pick them up. So they'll be back in
Not
their house.
actually a wild hive rehab in town, but she's become the person that if you find like a injured bird or something, you just
Yeah.
bring it to her.
Yeah.
They'll be back
okay.
in their place.
Okay,
So
I
they
just leave
wouldn't-
Amber and Cordelia and Marissa to go roam off, and then
Okay, well,
me and
before
Bella
you
go.
leave everybody, out of the locker room comes your best, most handsome ex-boyfriend, Brad, and
Oh my
he's
God,
like,
wow.
he's not thinking about pizza like Chad was, so he's wearing like gym shorts and no shirt. He's got like a towel and like he's like drying his hair with. And he comes out of the locker room and he's like, "What's up?"
Hi, Brad. I'm just gonna like ignore him. I'm gonna like look in the rat box and just play.
Yeah, I'm
with
like
the rat's
holding the
noses.
cardboard.
Yeah, I like examine the rat and I'm just hanging out with him. It's vibing.
So Emma called Coach. You told me that you like wanted to hang out later.
No, I don't want to hang out with you. Emma wants to hang out with you, so that's what that is. It's not me.
All right. Whatever.
Yeah, you'll fuck her anyway. It's fine. And I want to go back to the rat and just.
The rats are squirming.
The rats are squirming.
The rats are squirming. Okay, so you just like ditch. You turn and ditch, and then. Sorry, Tom and Hannah have ballots and pizza. Do you like leave the pizza here? You're like, okay, bye.
The ballot's like soaked with my thigh sweat and pizza grease.
Gross.
I'm kidding.
Now I'll be able to tell which ones are fake.
Combo.
No, I'm kidding. No.
Okay, so yeah, is that what you do? You're just
Let's take a
leaving
couple
the...
slices and the ballots.
Stealing.
Okay, so Chad is carrying the pizza and having a slice, and Tom, you like grab a slice and then like.
Wow, I'm with Hannah. Hannah, you coming with me? We gotta do the ballot thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Chad like waves and he's like, "See you later."
Enjoy the pizza.
Okay. So who would like to go? I feel like the sacking the locker is more interesting. So let's do the ballots first. Tom and Hannah, you know that the ballots would be in. There's a ballot box in the office.
Okay. Well, let's just go to the office. This is easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Let's.
Is the door locked or anything?
So it's after school, and I would say that like it's the football practice goes long enough, especially because the homecoming game is very soon, so it probably goes long enough that like no one's really in the office. I don't know if there's even like a door that locks into the like main part of the office. It's probably just an archway, but each individual office, like the vice principal's office and the principal's office and the counselors, like they're all locked themselves, but the main office isn't. And you see the ballot box, and it's like there's like one or two like crammed in the top of it, but it's just this little like wooden box that's been painted like brown and yellow, the school colors, and there is a lock on it.
Oh God.
Well, it's easy. We just jam in the ones we have, right? This is nobody's problem.
Do you think they'll fit?
No. Do we have enough votes to make this work, or is this going to look real sketchy? Like, what do we do?
I mean, if there's twice as many ballots as there are students, it might look a little sketchy. Yeah.
Maybe we should just put like some of them in, because I guess Emily isn't getting the extra votes anyway. So if we just did like some of mine and some of Harley's and some of some of yours and Harley's and some of Chad's, then do you think it's easy to pick a lock?
I mean, what's the lock like? Is it tiny? Is it big? Is it like a deadbolt? What have we thought?
It's one of those like little locks that has like a key at the bottom.
Well, like a little diary lock.
Yeah, like a diary lock.
Not that I would know. Okay, well, I think we could just. Well, if we break it, we need a replacement. I don't know how to pick these.
That's true. I don't know. I always saw, like people use hair clips or stuff in movies, but I don't know if that actually works.
Well, if you've got one, I say try it, because the only other thing I can think of is if we take like a bunch of water and pour it into the ballots that are there and ruin them all and shake them all up, and then wait a couple of minutes and then put our ballots in, and then the other ones are void and ours are real.
I don't think water. I don't think it would soak up all the water in that way.
Oh, okay.
I think it would just ours would. Yeah, let's do the hairpin. I take a pin out of my hair.
Okay, well,
The roll.
acts of teenage truancy are done with cold.
Okay, well, I'm not great at cold, so let's see how this goes.
I would like to remind Tom that if he does something to please his lover, he carries one forward.
Hey, Tom, you want to do it?
I'm still participating, right? Yeah, Hannah, what's up?
You seem like you just have the common know-how to pick a lock with this hairpin.
I've definitely been around a farm once or twice. Let me take that from you and give it a go.
So,
I also have really terrible cold, but we'll see what happens. But bam!
Did you add the 1 to that already?
Oh, I didn't actually know.
So it's a 6, which is still a failure.
why did you bait me like this?
Well, get experience. That's fine.
Oh, yay!
You were trying to open the lock without breaking it at all, or making it noticeable that there was tampering?
Yeah, I was just trying with the hairpin, just jamming it in, and I'm wriggling it in circles, clockwise, praying that something clicks.
The hairpin breaks off in the lock.
Ooh.
Hannah, I kind of ruined your hairpin,
Um,
and it's in there,
okay.
and I can't get it out.
So the key isn't gonna fit in there anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of jammed up like a lot. I might have messed it a little bit.
So now there's just gonna be no bell. Okay. We've done a terrible thing, Tom. Tom, we've really messed up here, buddy.
Do you think if I pick it up and I throw it against the ground so that it breaks, and I take all the ballots out and I take the ones we have and throw them at it, people will think that it fell off the desk and broke open normally?
I don't know what other option we have, honestly.
Do you think there's like another box, like a backup box or a backup lock, or like do you have a lock like this? Like, could we find one? Could we procure a lock?
I don't think this looks like available. I don't know.
Here's my plan. I am going to smash that lock, and I'm going to take it off, and then I'm going to go to my locker, and I'm going to take the lock off my locker and put that on, and then no, because they need the. Damn it! It's all terrible.
Could we make it look like it naturally? What if we? Is it like what kind of table is it on? Like
so it's made to look like it's on this like one-legged pillar that it's all been built, you know. So it's like the box and then like this 2x4 and then a stand on the ground. And it's like painted. It says like, you know, vote ! Could
we just push over the tape? Mate, look at
Are we gonna go with my plan where I smash the box and make it look like it broke?
I think so, because it looks way more suspicious with the hairpin in it.
Yes. Okay. Can I? My plan right now is I'm gonna kick the leg of the table out.
You're gonna use a violence?
Yes. I'm gonna use two different violences: one to kick the leg out and one to smash the box against.
Does he get one forward on this as well? Because
this is still to make it so that Harley is satisfied and loves you. So you would get a +1. You only need one roll. It's just to like ruin it and make it look like an accident. So volatile.
Okay.
When it asks for a modifier, just put 1.
I gotcha. 1 modifier.
So you added the 1 and you still failed.
Okay, pretty good, doing good.
So mark experience.
Oh, that's fine.
Hannah, you see like Tom goes up to the ballot box and he just like pushes it like over and it just lands on the ground and it's totally fine and not broken. And he just like he's just like, that didn't
Maybe we should so we've set up the scene, right? Like this is how it looks. But maybe if you just try smash the box, like I could try smash the box Or you could try and then we just make it look like that's and then the we can like take all the ballots that are in it out and like act like the ballots we have spill, and we can like set dress it so it's like they spilled out.
I don't know how you thought of that. That's genius. Okay, I'm thinking we look around the room and we find like a swingable object, like a hammer or something we can break it open with.
Is that like no, let's do that. Sure.
Is there anything in the room, Lucia?
So you're looking for something with which to destroy this box?
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's definitely like in the hallway, there's the like emergency fire axe.
That's what I was gonna ask about. Okay, cool.
Yeah, every high school has one of those, right?
Yeah, I was like, was that a thing in my high school, or have I made that up? But it was.
No,
okay.
It's in the movies. So
Cool.
do you break the glass and steal the axe?
Oh my god, we have to break the glass.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
You can't just give teenagers access to an axe whenever they want.
It's gonna look more suspicious.
Yeah, it's just making it look worse and worse. Sure, we steal the freaking axe, I guess.
Okay.
I
would say with an axe you're able to destroy this box. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But like not okay, yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right, so that's what you do. You replace the ballots with the ones that you made and make it dress it to look like it was a horrible accident.
And I steal the lock, and I'm hoping that nobody sees or assumes that lock's missing, something happened. I just I'll find a desk or something.
And we take out all of the old ballots and just like refill it with or like make it look like the same amount is still in there and like they're kind of like spilling out. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
I would say that I feel like you're trying to keep your cool and make it look like it's supposed to look like so that you don't get in trouble. If that makes sense.
Should we both roll for it?
One of you can roll and another one can help if you have a string on that person.
I do not have a string on you.
Oh, damn it.
If no strings are involved, then you can't help them because you don't know them well. You have a string on Hannah, Tom.
Do I really?
Yeah.
When did I get that? Was that at the start?
I think that she might have given one to everybody. Or
I think it might be as she wears her heart in her sleeve thing and we all get a string. Yeah. That
was it. Yeah. So if you want to do it, I can give you my string to make sure we're so cool about this. Coming out finger guns ablazing.
Wait.
Yeah. So the string, basically the move is like when you spend a string on someone, I think that I just like because there's no aid or interfere. Oh, spending string add +1 to a roll. Yeah. So you're spending a string on Hannah and you're using that like to like aid her. So you give her a +1.
Getting that +1.
Okay. So cold with +1.
Trying to keep your cool to make it look like it's totally intentional. It fell, it broke.
That's so
nothing bad happened.
Come on.
Oh!
A partial success. Okay, so you you like kind of like smash up the side that hit the ground and like make it look like it definitely like you intentionally like hit the corner of the lid. So it just looks a little bit smashed up and then like arrange the ballots and you do all of that. And then you take the axe and you go to put it back where it was and you see like, okay, well, the glass is obviously broken. But you can like sweep up or whatever like safety glasses on the ground and just hope that no one sees that the axe is.
Yeah, maybe we like kick it under a locker or something.
I think we should put the axe back and then clean up all the glass that we can and then just hope that nobody notices that the glass panel is missing.
Can we remove all of the glass? Like use the end of the axe and like push out all the glass so no one realizes that there's no glass there. So they just think there's still glass there and no one even
because you have a partial success, you can't like magically make it totally okay, but you can hope that
I'll try make it okay.
Yeah, you can hope that no one notices any spare glass or that there's no glass protecting the axe or anything like that. Yes. You think that you did a good job. Okay,
Cool.
so that was happening, and Harley and Bella, you're down the hallway at what you think is Emily's locker.
Right.
Got my box of rats.
Box of rats. How have I ID'd it as Emily's locker?
I
Is
mean,
it
you've
just 'cause
probably
I'm a
seen
creep?
her
We just
standing
see
in
her.
front of
Yeah,
it.
I'm just a creep. Okay, cool. All right. So
And I think I know the code because I had that locker the year before.
No, that's not how it works. They
Nah,
work.
you tried.
That's how my school. Oh, that's how my school. Oh, okay.
You can't just break
we have to-
someone else's locker.
We have to try and
Well,
figure out.
I
combinations
know.
of the lock, yeah.
I mean, don't we roll for this or something?
You
Okay,
can
so-
roll, but tell me what you're trying to do.
I want to break in and dump the rats.
Do you want to break the combination lock? Is that the plan? Like break it or like try and guess it? Like what's the plan?
Try and guess it, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this was Emma's idea and I thought she'd be here, but oh no, she won't. So whatever. Okay, so do you know her birthday?
No. How would I
Okay.
know that?
Well, it might be like a locker combination because we have to like guess this. So, can I? This is gonna be such a stretch, and you're gonna say no. Can I try and like gaze into the abyss or something, or try and remember? Because I'm a creep who's like Tom's in love with her. I have to fucking keep an eye on her. Did I ever see like
I like
Emily
that
putting her
plan.
combination in or anything like that when I was stalking her from afar like a psycho?
Okay, let me check what your
Let it
abilities are.
happen, Blue. Let it happen.
I feel like because you've kind of focused your weirdness on Tom and Emily, like Tom was obsessed with her, I will give you the opportunity to roll with dark
Thank you.
to try and see if you've like spied on her creepily enough to know her code.
I fail.
No, you always don't fail.
I know.
You have a +1 forward.
No, it's okay. I didn't
You
want
wanna
to
fail?
It.
Okay.
I don't want to use it. It's fine.
Take the failure.
I'm
So
taking the fail.
so here's what happens. Let me just check that move real quick.
The rats are squirming.
they're upset.
Okay. So here's what happens. You're like closing your eyes and you're trying to focus and you're like, okay, like Emily, I paid attention to Emily because like God, like Tom's weirdly obsessed with her and I hate it. And you're thinking like trying to remember. Bella, you're standing there with a box of rats and you're watching Harley try
That's
and
a
remember. And you see this really weird thing. Like Harley, I don't know, has her hands to her head and she's like trying to be like, okay, like think. And you're looking at her this whole time and you see what her hands look like. Suddenly they're covered in blood. And like
Your cycle
like
just
you can see it, Bella. Like you can see it. And like she's just looking like she's just thinking and then you see her like she's still in this pose like thinking and you see the blood like dripping down her hands and then she opens her eyes and she winks at you. And then she goes back to the thinking pose and her hands are no longer covered in blood. And then Harley, you're just like, God, I can't remember. You cannot for the life of you think of it.
Yeah, no, literally. I thought that I might have seen her put a combination or something, but I have no idea. We have to break the lock, right? Because like there's gonna be rats in there. People are gonna know this has been broken. Or she's gonna know it's been broken into.
Wait, let me see your hands again.
What?
Did you do another blood thing with some other poor girl?
What are you talking about? Hit my hand.
Your
Like my
hands
hands?
were-
What's wrong with my hand? I'm gonna like hold my hands out.
They were just covered in blood. And I know you don't eat ketchup because that has calories.
No, Bella, are you feeling okay?
It's been whatever. Let's just, what were you saying?
Okay. Why don't we just break the lock? Because think about it. She's gonna know her lock has been broken into. We might as well just
Anyways,
break it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Okay. So, you look strong. Do you want to do it? I'll take the rats. And I hold my hands out to take the rats.
You know, Harley, I never thought I'd like you, but after knowing you'd be willing to put rats in Emily's locker, you're not bad.
I'm not that good either, but I can be okay. And I take the box.
Okay. Bella, to do violence at this locker, just roll volatile for me.
Sorry, Hannah's comment in chat. Volatile.
Yeah. To do a violence. Okay, yeah, you slam it with I don't know, like the butt end of the axe that Hannah, like you see Hannah, you're like, oh, can I borrow that axe? You like jam it with the butt end of the axe and it just like clangs and falls off, and like then you can give the axe back to Hannah. She's like putting it away. And like it's like you get it off, but it's super obvious that, you know, someone broke the locker's a little bit dented. Like it's not like you can just put it back and everything's okay. You know, the lock's totally broken. But I mean, you're putting rats in it, so it's not going to be unobvious that someone broke into it.
So do we just put them in and then close the door a little, and they can still breathe through the vents, right? I don't want them to
like yeah. Okay. I'll even put some crackers in there. They're going to make a mess everywhere. Cool. It's going to be good. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. All right. And I put the rats in the locker, I guess. I put them inside in the box. I don't like just turn the box. I put the box of rats inside the locker.
Okay, you put the box of rats in the locker. Okay, and then just like close it. That's fine. That's done.
Okay.
All right.
And I hold my hand up for a high five to Bella. Okay.
Hopefully there's no blood on that.
Okay. Bonding.
All right.
So yeah, I'm done.
And at the end of the hallway, Harley, like you see Emma and Cordelia and Marissa leaning against another set of lockers, and they're looking at you like,
oh, I gotta go. We've got like study at Emma's house. I mean Cordelia's house, sorry. So I gotta scoot. So I'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully the other two, can you make sure that the other two, I think they're in the office. Can you make sure that they did the ballot thing okay? Because I don't want to, I gotta go. Is that okay? Okay, cool. Thanks. And I like wave and scoot off.
Okay. So where are you and your cronies going, Harley?
Oh, can I tell you where we're going? Just walk you through the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, me and Amber and Cordelia and Marissa are going to my house. We're gonna just hang out in my house. We're just gonna go, to walk.
Okay, so we haven't really been to your house before, have we?
No,
what does your house look like?
So the outside of the house is it's like on a perfectly nice street and everything. The outside of the house looks like pretty neglected. Like the gutters are like filled, like the top like guys like filled with like leaves and everything like that. All of the curtains are like drawn like you cannot see inside. There's like leaves all over the front step, all over the porch, everything. There's like the mailbox is like so overstuffed and like just not checked like at all. And then there's like a, what do you call it? The door to the basement is on the outside. What's that called?
I don't know, like a storm cellar?
Storm cellar, yeah. There's a door to a storm cellar on the outside. And that's where we're heading. And Brad is waiting there, isn't he, Blue Jay?
Yeah, and so he's waiting like leaning against your house, like halfway between the front door and the cellar. And he looks up as you get here and he's like tapping his foot on the ground. He's like, what the fuck, Emma? Why'd you want to meet here?
Oh, this is like, Emma, isn't this like some house that you, like, this is like your abandoned, like, druggy uncle's house or something, right?
And Emma just nods.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so, Brad, it's so weird. The front door doesn't work, but you have to come in through the basement and, like, go upstairs, and it's super weird, and I just thought, okay, this is gross, but I was wondering if you wanted to do things with me and Amber and Cordelia and Marissa, if you know what I mean. If you want to come.
And Brad looks you up and down and he's just like, I always knew you couldn't resist me.
Yeah. Yeah, I just.
Are you sure you want to do it here? We can go back to my place. It's much nicer.
No, it's fine. No, it's totally cool. I kind of like it when it's dirty. You know what I mean? So yeah.
All
so
right.
Is Emily going to be okay with this? I know she's really into you and her winning homecoming king and queen.
Are you jealous?
Oh my god, no, I'm not jealous. I would never no, I don't want anything bad. I don't want Emily to be upset or anything. I would hate that. And I would hate if she was upset.
Brad walks up to you and he like puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "Let me worry about Emily."
Okay. All
and
right.
then he he leans in to kiss you.
Oh, I kiss him. I kiss him. All right, fine. I hate it here. Okay, but like, does she really like you? Is she like really gonna be upset? Okay,
Baby,
okay,
baby,
okay.
baby.
Sorry.
Just,
Okay.
like, how about we go? It's kind of cold. How about we go inside? And he like puts
Okay.
his arms around Marissa and Emma's shoulders,
Ugh.
and then like waits for you to lead him inside.
Okay. I guess I head over to the storm cellar and I pull the door back, and it's like pitch black down there. Like you can't see shit.
Okay.
And then I just walk in, and him and Cordelia and Emma walk in. And I turn the light on, and you can see there's like a chair in the middle of the room with like restraints on it, and then a couple of like iron drums just around the room, and then like a utility closet, basically.
And he like looks at it and he's like, "Is that for one of you?"
Oh no, it's the druggy uncle thing. He did leave. This is so creepy, but like he did leave like a mini fridge full of stuff. Did you want like a Coke?
Does he have anything stronger? And he like looks up to the stairs to the rest of the house, like he's gonna go that way.
I like gesture for Cordelia to like close the storm cellar door behind him.
She does, yeah. She
Okay, cool. Yeah, he also has like this like whiskey in there as well. I can just like open the like Coke and just pour some out and then pour some whiskey in. Do you want that?
Sure.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
And he's like going up the stairs.
I like gesture for Emma and Marissa to try and just grab him and pull him back, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, wait, just one second. Let me give you this and then we'll go upstairs. Okay, and I get the Coke and I pour some out onto the ground. It like hits this like decrepit, dusty, dirty old basement ground. And I take some of my mom's like Valium out of my pocket, and there's one missing because I drugged Marissa on the first night when she passed out in the bathroom. And I put that into the Coke and I hand it to Brad.
Okay. And like he takes it and he drinks it. He's like, "This doesn't taste like Jack. I've had Jack before." And like starts getting a little like wobbly. I don't know how fast that shit works, but like let's just say it's magic Valium.
Magic Valium. Are you okay? Do you wanna sit down? Do you feel alright?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. And I like
are you
just
sure that was just Jack?
Yeah. No, it's exactly what you wanted. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. I wouldn't give you anything that you didn't like need. You know what I mean? And I like put him down in the chair, and then just
he's like looking at the glass, like what the fuck? And then like it slips out of his hand.
I put him in the chair, and I put electrical tape around his wrists. And then I just like gesture to Emma for a second. I'm like, can you get what's the one that you wanted?
And she hands you a knife.
Really cool. And I just kind of like brace myself like on the back of the chair, and I just look at Brad, who's like zoning out a little bit, and I just slide the knife really slickly right into his ribs. I've done it a million times, and I just pass the knife to like Marissa. I'm like, okay, your turn, go.
And Marissa stabs Brad. Like, no problem. This is like totally normal, and we just stab people. And I think that's a good place to end it.
That seems good to me.
Yeah.
That seems fine.
Yeah.
Wow.
That seems good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty chill.
That's pretty cool. Fine.
It's totally normal and fine.
Okay.
So I'm glad. Yeah, just another regular human person.
I'm just a person. What's the problem? It's not these human. What do you mean? I'm just vibing, dude.
I'm so like one of my favorite things is like when players get really into their backstory and are like, okay, and then this and watching it all like come together. So I'm really glad that Harley got to finally murder someone on screen. It's my favorite. And I've been having a lot of fun with everyone else's backstory as well. I'm so glad you clued into the Olive and Oliver.
I was in chat and I was like, hold on a second.
At first when I said Olivia and like nobody did anything, I was like, okay, like let me just make it a little more obvious. So, but that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for today. So thank you all so much for hanging out. We do have 2 more episodes, and I'm really excited about those as well. Let's do it real quick. Where can you find everybody? And then we'll skedoodle.
Okay.